Hello, ballsy individuals, and welcome. This is JohnRamboPresents The Show. My name is John, and I am joined by the candle-making, 13-hour driving, white mage impressing, wheeling-dealing, son of a gun, woo! OJ is here.
Hello, everyone. I'm being over-exuberant.
Are you mocking me? That was the Ric Flair intro.
Are you serious?
That was the Ric Flair intro.
Oh, that is awesome. I'm sorry. I don't know that much about wrestling except for the No Mercy days.
The jet flying, wheeling dealing son of a gun. The nature boy. I was trying to coddle, this is what you throw it back in my face.
No, I wasn't throwing back in your face. I was just trying to be overly exuberant.
Alright, so, OJ.
You take everything the wrong way, dude.
What have you been up to this week, sir? I heard you were at some sort of convention, some sort of event, something like that.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I think... Let me go back. Yeah, definitely. This weekend I was somewhere other than home. I think I was kidnapped by a bunch of people, which was strange because we took my car and I drove.
You essentially kind of like were kidnapped. That's not completely out of the scope of reality.
It's like you guys stole my car, but had to take me along with it.
We forced you to drive at gunpoint.
Yeah, pretty much.
So obviously we're at Magfest this weekend. Have you recovered from Magfest? I haven't seen you in a couple days now. We've been back for, I think, 3-4 days. Have you recovered yet? I certainly have not, I don't think. How are you doing?
I've recovered a bit, but I've got to catch up on some stuff from work, and my sleep schedule's all messed up. I got a lot of back work to do here.
You stayed up too late playing games at Magfest, and then you're all messed up. I told you would go to sleep.
Oh my gosh.
We'll get to that later. We'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about that a little bit later. Thank you very much.
So today's show's going to have a little bit of a different structure to it, because usually we have several smaller topics to discuss, and we kind of put that we put together over the course of a week, and then we discuss it on the show. But this week we're at Magfest for 5 days.
Was it 5? Wow.
Yeah, for 5 days. And then for the rest of the week, I was pretty much in a coma, as we just talked about. So today's show is going to be heavily focused on our experiences, our thoughts, the fun we had at Magfest. That's pretty much going to be what today's show is about. And we will do the comments. We will do Reading Rambo, which is, of course, the segment where we read a nice piece of literature to the Ramborgia, to the audience. And, of course, that's another great title created by the audience. Several people actually suggested that name, but I looked at the comments, and I think it was actually this guy, Brad031793, was the one that suggested it first. I'm pretty sure about that. Hope I am correct, so someone will be very mad if I am incorrect. So I want to thank him, as usual. And as usual, the Ramborgia is much more creative than we are in creating these names.
They're pretty good at that.
And I also want to go out of my way and thank Musaeus, once again, for another awesome theme song, which you've just heard at the beginning of the show. What did you think about the theme song? Did you enjoy it?
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty happy with how we've been doing so far with theme songs. It's been...
It's like hearing OJ being called up by a choir that does it for you, so...
Oh, my gosh. Does it ever.
Does it ever, he said. So, as always, if anyone out there would like to submit music or art to the show, simply send me a message, send OJ a message, and most likely we will use it, because we love free content that we can then put out as our own.
Yes.
It's always a nice thing.
It's pretty much our MO at this point.
We will, actually, Musaeus, I told Musaeus, I was like, thank you very much. I was like, do you have something you'd like me to plug, like a website or something like that? He's like, no, don't worry about it. And he's like, oh, you don't have to use my songs if you don't want to. Don't worry. Extremely humble guy, but he's very talented. And I really appreciate that. So
all of you out there who know who he is, just give him a high five next time you see him, at the very least.
Give him a hug. Yeah. And as always, today's show and every episode of the show is available for free download at geekfiredgifts.com/the show. Spread the digital gonorrhea. Welcome to the Ramborgia Revolution. You're coughing while I'm talking very dramatically, man. Come on.
I'm sorry.
You can't cough when someone says Ramborgia Revolution. That's, they will turn on you.
It was an accident. It won't happen more than 10 times.
All right, so as I said before, we're running with a very different format today. Things are going to be kind of out of order. And very Magfest-centric. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to start with the comments already. Are you ready for the comments?
Am I
Did I send you the comments?
Even if you didn't, they're in my mind.
All right, let's go right with the comments. You're going to read them off, Johnny.
All right. This one is from our dear friend, the Glowing Knight, master of the thesaurus.
Yes.
Stay noisome, icky, lousy, malodorous, filthy, smelly,
Crappy.
fetid, ill-smelling, malodorous again, ill-scented, fetid, foul, rotten, unpleasant-smelling, stinky, decayed, dirty, rotted, gooey, stinking,
Shitty.
foul-smelling, funky, my friends.
So you think you use a thesaurus for that?
No, I think he's just that clever.
She's that clever.
Yeah.
We will attempt to be all of these things. It is something to try to get to, you know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think I'm looking here. I think I might go for if I had to pick one, I might go for ill-scented.
Malodorous is an awesome word.
Oh yeah,
Because that's when you could just go up to people and call them that, and they won't know what you're saying. Because I think public school doesn't teach that word to kids.
Not when I was there.
Right. So something to aspire to all of these different words. Excellent.
Yeah. And I think I said fetid twice. I meant to say feoded, but I thought it was pronounced fetid as well. So whatever.
Okay.
$10 words up there. I like it.
We're gonna have a spelling bee. You're gonna have to spell all these words
Oh, lovely.
someday on the show.
All right. Well, moving along, we've got one from Comrade No Life. Rambo is going professional. About time. Smiley face.
I don't really know what that means. I just I pulled it because I thought it was kind of odd. I'm not 100% sure what that's in reference to. It might be because I've been doing a lot more video editing and stuff on my channel, on my videos lately. But I will say this. My channel, nor I, is not and never will be professional. And if something ever does look professional, it's by complete accident. It's not on purpose. Because I like art when it's very messy and dirty and as shitty as possible. So it's just more interesting to me when things have imperfections and things like that. So hopefully I will never be considered a professional in any type of field or anything like that. So let's move on.
All right. This one's from Oxaput. I saw OJ transform into a car. Can he transform into other things? Perhaps a double-headed dildo? Stay ballsy.
Yeah, so if you've seen my Magfest footage, there's a lot of people seem like they really enjoy it. I really appreciate that. Part 3, OJ does a car transformation. Basically, there's some downtime before a panel started, and OJ was the opening act for the DSP panel. Unadvertised opening act. People were shocked. Oh my god, this is amazing. And he was basically acting out scenes from different movies. One of them being Transformers, where he actually put the special effects in Transformers to shame by, without any type of costume or anything like that, doing a transformation. I didn't believe it. And dragging yourself across the floor. And many of the viewers actually made a GIF of it.
Yeah.
That they're using on different forums and things like that.
I love it.
Can you do other transformations?
Yeah, and to answer his specific question, especially a double-headed dildo.
That's your master level.
Megatron turns into a gun. This is what I've got.
I like what you did there. You went right into it. It's called turning into the. Yes, turning into the spin.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that's what they call that.
Yeah, that's how you stop from fishtailing, if you know what I mean.
Right. Okay, I see what you did there. I like it. What else we got?
All right, the next comment is from Dude Guy 1354.
Yes.
Dr. Rambo, I have an idea that will infect the entire galaxy with the digital gonorrhea. It will be a multiple-step process. Step 1. Hack into the USA, Fox, ABC, and every other major TV network. During a popular show like Jersey Shore, side note, you do everyone a huge favor. Cancel the not as good show. Step 2. Insert your show. Step 3. At the end, write something like hashtag digital gonorrhea on the final slide. Step 4. Get it trending on Twitter so dozens of thousands of people will learn about it. Step 5. Like a zombie apocalypse, it will spread from those people. Step 6. Conquer the planet. Step 7. Send Dude Guy 1354 a nice basket of fruits and or French pastries for planning it out. It's a win-win. Digital gonorrhea is spread, the show goes global, and I get a basket of stuff from my heroes.
He wants fruits or French pastries?
Who doesn't want French pastries, dude? Have you had French pastries?
I don't think I have. What is a French pastry? Well, a croissant, right?
Croissants, I mean chocolate croissants, just
About
all
that.
sorts of stuff, dude. The French pastries that this world has for us are so amazing.
I'm just saying, if I'm going to go through this entire plan that he obviously thought out, he well thought out this plan, and I'm going to conquer the world, as he says, that's all he asks for in return. He's very He's a very modest man.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't. Okay. He doesn't say cut me in on the action or anything like that. But trending on Twitter, he brought up. That's a funny thing because I don't think trending on Twitter matters at all in anything. What's your thoughts on this? He's like all these different shows. They always tout like, oh, we're trending on Twitter, things like that. I often look at Twitter and like what's trending. It's just nonsense, man.
I love Bieber.
Boy Meets World was trending one day.
Oh man, but that show was awesome.
Does that mean that's like a great it's going to come back or something? And that's going to be like I don't think it means much. But
Boy Meets World reunion. It's going to happen now.
I often throw the hashtag on stay ballsy, digital gonorrhea, all the different catchphrases because I think it's funny. So if other people want to do that, that'd be cool.
I'm certainly all for it.
I think it'd be funny if something like digital gonorrhea became trending. I think people might look at that don't know anything about what's going on here. Maybe they might be kind of shocked by that.
I would love if that got to like number one, and then CNN is like doing one of their let's see what's going on in Twitter today. Apparently, it's digital gonorrhea. Back to you, Tom.
Yeah, let's get this going.
All right.
I see a lot of people actually do it a lot, so I appreciate that.
Thank you, Rob. All right, so this one's from GigaGamer 2011. OMG, that intro just made my entire life worth living again. Sorry, it was all caps. It's what I had to do.
Okay.
I must say I agree with GigaGamer. I love that intro. Like, thank you again for getting that done out there. You deserve tons of hugs, tons of high fives.
I wonder. I think today's might be better. I don't know. Like, it's a toss up. They're both awesome. A lot of people are wondering how this dude does it. Because it sounds like a choir. I think do you think he actually has a choir come in and he records?
Come in, dude. I think it would be a miracle if we let the choir out. They're probably in his basement. I mean, dude, I've got a hair metal band down there. I mean, I don't.
A few weeks ago, we had an intro from it was a piece from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the movie, which scared the hell out of a lot of people.
Because the volume was about 100 decibels louder than the show.
It was Christmas, man. I was very exuberant about Christmas.
Exuberant. See the word.
Jubilation about the holiday. So I was trying to wake everybody up and get them into the Christmas spirit. That's why I had it so loud. But yeah, the intros are awesome. And as I said earlier, if anyone else wants to submit an intro, that's fine. And I think the idea is we're not always going to use the same one. So I think it kind of gets boring after a while. What do you think about that?
I think it's good to mix things up a bit.
So I think we'll use different ones, and then sometimes there'll be none. And then sometimes there'll be some.
It'll be up to you.
If you use different, if it's always different, it's always important. If you always have the same thing, it's kind of like, oh, okay.
Well, I like to think that we're always important anyway, so.
Well, that is true. At least one of us is. Let's continue.
Hey, this one's from the Merc with the Mouth. This Ramborgia Ramboholic debacle can end in only one thing. Ramprohibition!
Yes, this is, of course, speaking about the unholy war that's been waging between the Ramborgia, those who like to call themselves the Ramborgia, and those that see themselves as the Ramboholics. And Ramprohibition is quite possible. I can't believe how many words we've formed with Rambo in the name. Who would have thought?
Yeah, I mean,
there's literally like hundreds of words that people have come up with. It's like, wow.
We've almost equaled the Klingon dictionary at this point.
Yes. Let's continue, John.
All right, this one's from Regular Games Player. John, you must mend the rifts between the Ramboholics and the Ramborgia. During a time of great unrest, one legendary heroic figure known as the Ballsborn, which uses an ancient power known as the Words of Balls, which is still practiced by the 4 Grey Balls beards. John, seek the Grey Balls beards and learn the ancient Balls language. Bring unity to your followers with the digital gonorrhea, and remain ballsy.
Wow. I do not. Am I the Balls born?
I would
That's
imagine
a lot of pressure.
so.
I don't know. I think I'll just let this continue because it's kind of entertaining. We'll just let it roll.
Okay, as long as we're letting it roll.
I could stop at any time, but I just feel like I'd rather just see a show, spectacle. You know.
You know, it's like
we could do Ramborgia versus the Ramboholics on ice, like an ice capades, all kinds of like a jousting. What do they call that? Medieval times.
I'd rather see the joust because I think I get the idea of there's something about giving the Ramboholics and Ramborgia, blades on their feet that just strikes me as dangerous.
There's all kinds of event. We can run a whole event about with different things they have to do.
The Rambissance Festival.
Yes.
We'll get on that.
And then I see the next comment is from Ekim Reyes 10, and he actually comes up with a settlement here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ramborgia-holic.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column Q.
A little bit of both to kind of, put out the fires, but I don't think it's going to work.
Well, It was an interesting idea, an interesting concession. We will have to see if the leaders of both parties will accept this treaty.
Will it stop the blood feud? Only time will tell.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice compromise, but who knows?
Yeah. Well, moving along, this comment is from Erhuquef?
Yes. Erhuquef. He says, John, I'm in love with your rock hard yet soggy and pulpy ballsy balls. And I know for a fact he's talking about you. Because I don't even remember this is the same guy that sent in the comment that he couldn't wait to taste your Fret-Hosh OJ. He couldn't wait to taste your fresh hot OJ. That's what he said a couple weeks ago. So this is actually to you, so why don't you respond?
I'm not entirely sure this is to me, but...
It absolutely is to you.
All right. Well, I would say, thank you very much. I appreciate
the soggy is not me. There's no pulpiness going on over here, sir, or sogginess.
Okay. No, if this is indeed me, I am grateful. I thank you very much for your words. This is good to hear, and I'm, I guess, flattered. I don't know what else to say. It's
all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
The next comment is from 123 Nordia. Hey, John, how's your quest of finding a drummer for your band going? I would love to apply for the job, but sadly I live like 5,000 miles away. By the way, a music-related mailbag would be great.
It's going pretty badly. that's how it's going. It's kind of like always been the problem is finding a drummer. Pretty much like everyone you meet plays guitar in some way, shape, or form. I think you even have a guitar, don't you?
Yeah.
So like everyone has a guitar and everyone says they can play guitar.
Well, I don't say I can.
There's very few people that will say I'm a drummer. I don't know why that is. It's a noble profession.
Yeah, they should stick up for themselves.
Beating skins, and it's always been the problem. And I actually learned how to play drums at one point because I could never find someone. I wanted drum tracks, so I actually taught myself to play, and then would lay down tracks and then put guitar over it and stuff like that. But right now it's kind of upsetting because I have a lot of songs that are ready to roll. I just need people to perform with.
Yeah.
So I'm confident we'll find someone eventually. It's actually a good time to talk about the music stuff. But I was on every other week schedule on my channel putting out new music. But this week was way too busy with Magfest and stuff like that. So we're going to restart. I think next week we're going to have a song up. And then it'll go back to that every other week from there. So look for that next week.
Nice.
JohnRamboPresents.
Also, in regards to the music-related mailbag, people have asked about that a lot, actually.
Oh, music-related mail? Yeah, we'll do that.
I should hope so. I need people to be able to ridicule my taste in music.
I certainly will.
No doubt.
But yeah, we'll do that. I mean, the mailbags are kind of like, I think we're doing like two a month right now. We did last month, so we'll see how it goes this month. I don't know. It's kind of like an extra thing that we'll throw together once in a while.
Mm-hmm. We don't have a set schedule for it.
We don't have one scheduled yet, but we'll figure it out.
It's lurking.
We got a lot of things going on. We got a ton of stuff going. They don't even know.
Oh man, yeah.
They don't even know what's going on.
I'm working on stuff. I don't even know what I'm doing.
You don't even know what you're doing. I just give you secret projects. You're doing all kinds of math equations. You're like, what is this for? I'm like, don't worry about it.
I get the feeling that you're going to finally unveil like a death ray or something, and I'll be like,
oh my
maybe. Gosh.
We'll see what happens.
All right. So anyway,
the whole YouTube thing's a front. It's all a front.
You're going to reveal that already? All right. I'll continue. This one's from KRNXAJA, Kern X Aja, whatever.
Yes.
I was very happy that I was able to meet the guys, minus Howard, wasn't there yet, Friday at Magfest. Very cool guys. Yes, even OJ. And though it was a one-day trip for me, it was really exciting and fun. These guys are always talking about funny stuff, even when they're off camera. Here's to an exciting 2012, Ramborgia Nation. Balls.
Yeah, we're always talking about funny stuff like poop, dicks, and balls and things like that.
Yeah, we seem to hang around the crotch region a lot for some reason.
Yeah, it's like our own conversations about that. It's very very high-end conversations. I wish I knew who this was. I don't know. No one told me that was their name, their username or anything like that.
Yeah, no, I didn't get that either.
We're going to talk about this later as we go on through our Magfest discussion, but everyone we met was really cool.
Oh, yeah.
Very cool. And really happy to meet everybody. So I'm glad that we were talking about something interesting when they were there.
Yeah. Okay, so this one's from obviously a Metal Gear fan. This is from Big Boss 1983-100. Hail Ramborgia, the country of balls. We need an anthem. We really need an anthem. We got to get on that.
What do you mean?
We need an anthem.
That's what we had today in the intro.
Okay, but we need it like...
What do you want it to be?
I think we need a flag. And
like a national anthem? You want like a national anthem?
I don't know. I mean...
We have a flag also.
Yeah, but...
We have a symbol now made by Hazard.
Yeah, I know. We just need something. We need something like a physical thing, like the flag set up, like an actual physical flag, and then you press a button and it plays it.
You want like an actual like physical object?
We need a standard.
What are you gonna do with this thing?
We're going to lead our troops, man.
Just stick it in the ground and claim land?
No. We hold it behind us in battle.
I never considered Ramborgia to be like an actual like nation or country, like a place.
Yeah, well, these guys are. So we got to get this going, man.
So it's something to build towards our own country.
It's a nation of minds at the moment.
All right, I thought we just had like a nice little podcast once in a while, but now it's turning into, accumulating land.
Did you miss taking over the world in like the fourth comment?
If people want it, then it's got to happen, I guess. I don't know what else to say.
It's inevitable. Speaking of the inevitable, let's move on. So this is from... I'm so sorry I get your name wrong all the time. Ryan GWN for me.
This guy always sends you... He's always talking about you in the comments. This is your boy. All right, continue.
All right.
I'm sorry.
And thou shalt go forth, said the prophet OJ, and thou shalt spread thy digital gonorrhea to the masses, for so it hath been spoken by your holiness Rambo. For those who fail, thou shalt be forced to watch a playthrough of X-Men Destiny. For those who succeed, thou shalt be blessed with divinity from the holy ballsiness himself. Live well and stay ballsy, my Ramborgian friends, said the prophet OJ, and then he was gone. Book of OJ, chapter 6, verse 9.
Wow. I don't know what to say about that. It kind of frightens me.
I want to hear chapters 1 through 5.
So where did you go that you're gone? What are you doing? Making some candles or something?
If you only knew.
Was the white mage involved?
Oh, no.
You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
All right, well, the time has come, my friends. This weekend, OJ, myself, Phil, Howard, Respect the Pact, several other cast of characters. We were all at Magfest Gaming and Music Convention in Maryland. Where we did many things and many happenings occurred. Is that a proper sentence? Many happenings occurred?
I believe so. Happenings is a noun.
I don't know. I'm just going off my head here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take you through day to day, what went on, what happened, and we'll try our best to make this entertaining for you. And this is what we have today.
Mm-hmm.
So take it or leave it. That's all I have to talk about. So let's take it to last Thursday. Let's get back to last Thursday. So, of course, the day where it all began, and it was about around midday. I had to pack a bag, so I just basically threw a bunch of random things into a bag, which is usually my strategy for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
My bag is disgusting. I have to throw it out, by the way. First of all, I've had it since high school. It's been to Japan with me.
Mm-hmm.
It's been on 100 train rides. It's just filthy. It's been to many conventions. So that's a little side discussion. If we have time at the end of the show, then we'll talk about the bag more. But so then I drove to Phil's house. It's about an hour away. Picked him up, loaded the car. Then we went to your place to meet you, which is about 40 minutes from his house.
Yeah.
And we got to your house, and you weren't there. We waited for about 40 minutes.
I had to go to the...
What was going on?
As I said, first of all, I got up at, I think, 6 that morning. So because I had to go to work, for a normal shift. I had to pack the night before, so I got to bed pretty late and had to wake up pretty early. I got to work, and I realized that we didn't have any money for the cash box.
Yeah.
So on the way home, I had to stop at the bank to get cash for the cash box for everybody. And that held me up a little bit because there was a bit of, I had to go out a little bit out of the way to get there, make a left turn on a busy road, blah, 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 excuse, blah, blah.
All right.
So I got there a little bit late.
So you made us wait for a while. Then we had to pack the car, which was kind of like a puzzle.
Tetris. Physical Tetris.
It was because we had 3 boxes. We had 130 shirts with us. 3 boxes of shirts. These pretty big boxes. All of your candles, like you had 6 boxes of candles?
3 boxes of candles. 1 box
Really?
of packing material.
Okay. It
Yep.
seemed like you had a lot more than that for some reason.
Oh, then my backpack, which was mostly empty at that point, and my luggage. And my
several
laptop bag, which I
bags.
thought I'd need.
And we're going into your car, which is what? It's a mid-sized car? Is that what you call that?
Yeah, it's a mid-sized regular sedan, full-size. It's a full-sized car. It's not compact.
So we barely got everything in the car, and this will come into play later on
Oy.
the way back. But
I am not a
we got everything in the car. Finally hit the road.
It's like 4:40, 5 o'clock at this
So,
point.
yeah, it was like afternoon. It was like afternoonish.
Rush hour.
We were getting smart now. That was kind of like our strategy this time. We usually leave in the mornings for these trips, and then what happens is you run into traffic either certain times of day, either in the morning and then probably rush hour. So what we tried to do is leave after rush hour. It was kind of like our strategy here, and I have to say it worked out. And we set our route so that we would avoid the George Washington Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's bad news, right?
It's always bad news, unless you're there at 1 a.m., in which case maybe there's construction, and it's super bad news.
All right, so we went over the Tappan Zee Bridge. Which these are New York bridges, for people that don't know what we're talking about, which has less traffic, but of course there's always a chance that the bridge could collapse on you at any point while you're on it. 'Cause it's not very... There's all kinds of things about it you can look up. It's ready to go down. It also has a very high suicide rate on that bridge. I don't know if you ever knew this.
No, but if that's interesting information, that won't make me depressed at all.
A lot of people have actually committed suicide on this bridge, and I think what they did was they raised the walls on the sides, so it's harder to get. And then a few months ago, some chick actually drove up to the wall, got out onto the roof of her car, then climbed over and jumped, but she actually didn't die. But
well, I mean, if you're clever enough to figure out how to kill yourself when the wall's too high, you should live.
Yeah, this shows that you have something going on for yourself.
Yeah, if you can figure that out, don't throw your life away.
Yeah, you can do problem solving skills.
Bad man punted Baxter.
So right over that bridge is the Palisades Mall, which is a huge shopping center. I believe it's the 2nd or 3rd largest mall in the country.
It's gigantic.
And of course, it's a place that you and I used to hang out at quite a bit,
we
10 years.
CVS 2. We played Marvel vs. Capcom vs. SNK 2 and stuff. The arcade.
Yeah, it was like 10 years ago in high school. We used to hang out at this mall. We used to go there every week for a while, every weekend.
Every Friday.
Until the local arcade improved drastically and we stopped going.
Yeah.
And of course, that mall used to be a lot better too. But that's a topic for a whole different show. The decline of American malls. We'll do that one day.
Okay. Write that down.
But so we decided we're going to stop at the mall, and we went to the Outback Steakhouse.
Yeah, we had to decide where we were going to eat, and I think Outback won.
So what did you order at Outback? Let's talk about that.
All right, I got the ribs, half rack, and I got the the bacon potato soup, and I believe quesadillas were ordered as well.
How was it?
It was pretty good. Wasn't oh my gosh, this is the best food ever, but it was all right.
I have a side story about the Palisades. So it's still on topic, okay? So we used to go to the Palisades Mall a lot when we were teenagers. I forget I just got my license. I think we went. I don't think you were with me this time.
Oh.
But driving back from the mall, I was doing 90 and a 55 in my car. I had my license for not very long, and I was doing a 90 and a 55. I got pulled over, and the cop's so mad, and he took my license and looked at it, threw it in the car. And it was gonna be a bad ticket, right? So I get called to court. Well, first of all, they send you the thing, and you can say guilty or not guilty. Guilty, you just pay it off. Not guilty, you have to go to court, obviously.
Yeah.
So I'm well, I'm gonna be a ballsy individual that I am. I'm gonna say not guilty on this, even though I blatantly did do it.
Don't say that out. Go on.
Well, I mean, what are you gonna say?
Go on.
So of course I need a court date. They don't call me to court for another year. Okay, so a year later they call me to court. I go to court, and they go, the cop didn't show up. He's not here today, so you're going to have to come back. We're going to call you again. 6 months later, they call me back to court, so I go. And they go, the cop failed to show up, so you get off on the whole thing. This is pretty ridiculous.
That was pretty lucky for you.
It's lucky for me, but it's a complete failure of the traffic law system, you know. But hey, you know, 2001, 2000, that was a crazy time period.
Yeah, there were a lot of
2002
things going on. But
All right, so that was one of my Palisades Mall stories.
One other thing about the restaurant, though. So behind the restaurant, the direction I'm facing, there's a comedy club. And this comedy club has the brightest sign I have seen in my entire life.
Yeah, it was pretty ridiculous.
Now, I don't know I forget what the unit is for brightness. I think it's lumens. I'd say roughly 2 trillion lumens, like I'm getting a sunburn. And every time it changes, it flashes white. And I just can't stop looking at it, and it's burning my eyes. It was awful.
You know what, though? It was like a sign that's supposed to be outside. That's why.
Yeah.
So you could see it like from the road, like for a long distance.
Yeah, or during
indoors.
the day.
It was pretty insane.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're expecting people to be tearing the roof off the building or driving through in their car from the opposite end. I mean, it's large enough you could do that. But
I think that mall's at like several comedy clubs that have all failed. So
that's sad.
Maybe that was the owner that tried to jump off the bridge. I don't know. But all right, so we go back in the road, and OJ the Beast. That's your new name, OJ the Beast.
I'll take it.
You drove for about 5 hours straight.
Yep.
Through New York, New Jersey, Delaware. This time on purpose, though.
Yeah.
Maryland, Virginia, back into Maryland. And as you said, you worked all day. So let's talk about the drive for you. How was the drive? And how did it go? How did you feel during?
The drive down was fine. There were no problems. It was great. The only problem we had.
Were you tired?
I wasn't really that tired because I've mentioned it before, but I have caffeine very infrequently.
Right.
So it takes a very small amount of caffeine for me to be, alert and active and all that sort of nonsense like that. At work, I'd already had a cup of tea. And then at Outback, I had 2 or 3 glasses of soda, Barks root beer, because Barks has caffeine. So I was fine that entire drive. I was completely okay.
And of course, we were having all kinds of conversations about poop and dicks and things. And
yeah. One funny thing was, the hotel is in National Harbor, Maryland, which does not exist in my GPS.
Yeah, the GPS was like, what the hell's going on? And
I
pulled mine out.
Yeah.
Because the town has like 5 different names.
Yeah. I think National Harbor, technically, I think a good portion of that area we were in was like private property or something.
Well, it's a resort, so I don't think I don't know. It was
it is a resort, so a lot of
the only one who could actually get on the map was Phil on his phone.
Yeah.
And so he had to read it. We couldn't get an actual GPS to tell us what to do.
It was so terrible.
But I appreciate you driving, though, because I'm usually always the driver on trips.
Yeah.
So I very much appreciate that.
No problem. Although
I don't think it was ever a trip I was on where I didn't drive at all.
Oh, well, I hope it was an enjoyable experience.
I am quite happy.
Yeah, you were a good co-pilot, too. A lot of my friends will just shut up and they'll start to fall asleep.
I have trouble. I have trouble just being quiet. It's not my way.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I don't need to thank you because it'll happen no matter what.
It'll happen no matter what. So, so as we said, it was a pretty uneventful drive, which is actually a good thing for us.
Yeah, for once.
It's not usually the way it goes. And we arrived. It was a little bit after midnight.
Just about. Yeah.
And up the highway. And I'm expecting like a big, ugly, gray convention center. Mm-hmm. But instead, it's actually this really incredible-looking resort.
Like bright purple lights.
Yeah, with Christmas trees all lit that lead you into the place. All kinds of stores, eateries, and of course it's right on the water too. So it actually looked to me like a casino, like a Vegas casino.
Yeah,
when you're pulling up to it.
That's kind of the feeling you get.
So then we self-parked the car. We're not valet people. We're not those kind of people. And I think we're a little more blue-collar than that. What do you think?
I would say so.
Right. So we're carrying what we can carry, and we realizing it's going to take probably a few trips to the car to get all this stuff in. And we enter the building, and then we, for the first time, realize and see the enormous scope of this place.
Oh my gosh!
It has a actual Christmas village inside of it with a giant tree suspended from the ceiling.
A giant atrium.
How tall is the ceiling in that place?
I believe that the ceiling went up the entire height of the hotel, which was at least 10 stories.
Yeah, it was like a massively tall building, and I don't know, it was insane. And they had the elevators where you could like see into the elevator.
Mm-hmm.
And there was 2 on each side, and then there's like balconies for each of the floors to look down.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty wild. And we walk about a mile to the elevators.
Yeah, seriously.
And we find out the elevators are shut down because they're being cleaned.
Yeah, but we end up waiting there for a few minutes anyway. Just in case, because there were still 2 running elevators, for that entire half of the hotel.
Right.
And
OJ's seeing people that he knows, like, oh, I know that guy from this, and I don't know these people.
When the elevator finally came down, Anthony and Ashley Birch come out of the elevator. If you don't know, they're from Hop, or Hey Ash, What's Your Plan? Or Anthony Birch Saves the World. And they come out, and I'm like, wait a second, these people look from, oh, wow. And they just keep walking, I don't bother them.
So OJ's going nuts, I'm like, oh crap, I gotta carry this stuff, I don't care who these people are. And then, so it takes us a while, we find the check-in desk.
Yeah.
Finally check in, finally get up to the room, right? And then you and I decide that we're going to go back to the car.
We didn't want to leave that stuff in there to freeze.
Right, so we're like, all right, maybe we should leave it, I don't know. And we're like, oh, we probably should get in there and get the stuff out. So you and I go, and as we said, the elevator was shut down.
Mm-hmm.
So we just start going through, like, there's a stairwell. So you go through the door.
Yeah.
And then you go through the stairwell, and then all of a sudden you're like another floor. Then there's another stairwell.
Yeah, you have to exit. You go down one floor, then you exit the stairwell, and you're back on the floor below you now, outside in the regular carpeted area. And then there's another door for another stairwell.
Right. The place is so big that we get insanely lost.
Yeah, we go in there, and the stairwell opens into this like industrial complex.
Yeah, we're going down stairs and then opening doors, going through doors, and then suddenly, like, you're in someone's office, like, you open doors, like a cubicle, and like a dude sitting there.
Yeah, there's like a giant thing of protein powder. There's no locks, nothing like that. I guess they.
Yeah, it was so strange. And then, one area had like bins, and it was like a supply area.
Yeah. And
but eventually, we get like to the bowels of the building. We're like completely screwed.
Yeah, well,
we're in like a basement, and there's another dude that is obviously like from like a con goer.
Yeah, he's lost.
He's lost too. There's another dude and we all like banded together, the 3 of us, and we're like trying to figure this out. So there's like 3 of us together, you and me and this random dude, and we're just trying to figure it out, like, how the hell do we get out of this thing?
Yeah, it was amazing. I mean,
and eventually we found a door outside. There's a lit outside.
The best part though was there was this one section where there's 2 sets of stairs, but they can only be accessed from different floors. Yes. For example, we're on this level with stairs going down, but there's other stairs going down from a higher level to a floor below the level we're on. So to go down, we had to go out and up and around. If there was a fire and the elevators could not be used, everyone in the building would die.
Well, the problem is, like, we kept going down, but like, it's hard to tell which floor was the exit to the street.
Yeah.
So I think what happened is we went like 4 floors underground, which is all like storage and offices or something. I don't know. And then I don't know what happened. So we grabbed some stuff, and then we're like, we see the registration desk.
Yeah, and I've been to a lot.
So John's like, we should register. I'm like, I don't know if Phil's not here. We probably should. He's like, we should register.
Yeah,
don't do it, and of course they screw up.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I've been to a lot of conventions. Friday and Saturday mornings, the last place you want to be is the registration line. Like, it is death, murder lines.
Well, that's eventually what happened on Saturday to Howard and those guys.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that
later.
That's why we took so long to meet you. But
yeah, so we go down there, like John said, and they mess it up. First of all, there's some interesting things about registration here. They make you sign a waiver. You have to show them your ID, and you have to show them your ID. I thought show them to prove who you are, and also
what is what is the waiver about?
If you like die or something, you can't sue them. Is
that for like if you're filmed, then you can't sue someone? Because I have some crazy footage of people that they might be upset about.
Well, you're in a public place, so I think it's okay anyway.
All right, fine, yeah.
No, I think it was don't sue us if you get hurt. There's a lot of people, blah blah blah. But they take your ID and they check your birthday because they give you color-coded wristbands depending on how old you are. Now, I was confused. This is what they told me: red means no, under 18. Green means go, over 18. Blue means blow. That's exactly what they said. And I'm like, wait, what do you mean by blow? Do you mean like blow them? Or do you mean blow them off to say, no, go away, I don't like you.
Was blue for like the staff?
I think blue is either for staff or people between the ages of 18 and 21, so they were old enough to be legal, but too young to drink. That's all I can guess. I don't know.
Maybe.
And they also said if you lose your wristband, it's $5 to get it replaced.
But you were very interested in that. You're like, oh, blow. Okay, I want to meet some of the. You were looking for these blue people the whole time.
I was trying to figure out what the frell it meant. I mean,
you wanted to see the blowing.
No, it's a mystery, and I like figuring out this garbage.
Okay.
But yeah. So
they screw up because they give. I guess I was actually the vendor.
Yeah.
Me and Phil were actually the vendors, and then you were actually a panelist.
Yeah, they gave me panelist, but they gave you panelist too.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be I was actually the vendor.
Yeah.
Because you can only have 2 vendors, and I don't know, it was confusing. So they screw up. We didn't know. We went up the stairs, we talked to Phil, and he's like, well, he's like, they messed up, you have to go back down. So he actually came down with us.
Yeah, he wasn't happy.
And this is when we saw like all kinds of stupid stuff going on. There was 2 girls that we saw fall in the parking lot. They were just like completely drunk.
Yeah.
And they both fell on their faces. Some people laughed, some people were concerned.
I was kind of concerned. Oh, and not to mention the crazy guy.
They did it to themselves.
Well, don't forget, when we were walking in every time, there was this crazy dude with what looked like a glass of whiskey who goes, hey, I'm with the CIA. I need to see your papers.
Yeah, there was a lot of just complete idiots. They were drunk hanging outside.
But I don't think they were from Magfest at all. Excuse me, but I don't.
I have no idea. I don't know.
Yeah, there was some other event going on.
They're complete fools.
Oh, clearly.
Well, so these 2 girls fall on their face. I was kind of indifferent to it. I was like, they did to themselves, whatever.
Yeah.
And then we walked in, and there was actually a girl laying on the ground.
Yeah, this was the girl who fell outside. She was moved inside.
That was the same one?
Yeah, she was moved inside later. Like, she went outside as if she was trying to get home with her friends, and then that girl and another girl, I think it was that same girl, because it looked like the same dress, was moved inside into a corner just inside the front door.
Completely covered in vomit. It actually looked like some kind of like red wine or something that she was puking. But you thought it was bloody. You were like, oh, she's bleeding.
Well, I think I was looking at this. I thought it looked like she had scratches all over her legs and like was all chunky, cut up from the pavement. But that would have to be
laughed at that.
Mortal Kombat pavement. So
she's puking, and there's a cop standing over her, and I feel just basically trying to figure out who she is or whatever. And she's going, blah, 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 blah. It was all drunk and stupid. I feel bad for the cop, really, because it's not fair. He's got to deal with this idiot. So that was fun. It was fun, We saw that, and then we went to registration and got that all figured out.
Yeah, the girl who helped us, like, they were supposed to stay out till like 2 a.m. And it was almost 1 at this point, and she was exhausted. I mean, she was working as hard as she could, but nothing was working. The computers were busted. The internet was dying. Like, it was hard to pull up records for registration.
Yeah.
It was really bad. I got to hand it to them. I mean, it's an all-volunteer force. Like, everybody.
Yeah, we actually went up to her, and I'm like, I'm supposed to have the vendor, I'm supposed to have the vendor badge or whatever. So she's like, you know what? I don't even care. She took my badge and started adding all the ribbons. Like, each ribbon had a different thing on it. So, like, it said vendor, or it said panelist. So she just, like, started adding every possible ribbon to my thing.
Yeah, and she said, just so you can't complain, she put one final ribbon on there. And that was my badge is better than yours.
Yeah, so every ribbon she had, she's like, just take it, I don't care. So I had this like really ridiculous looking badge the whole weekend, and like I was able to just go over. Like I ripped the not only that, you just have a bracelet, like you said.
Yeah,
you're supposed to wear the bracelet all 3 days. Like you're not supposed to take it off, right?
It surprisingly lasts through the shower.
So the first night I just ripped it off. I was like, I'm not wearing this stupid thing. I don't like that kind of. I don't like wearing stuff like that. I don't like being tagged like I'm a human being, and I don't like to have a tag on me like that. So I ripped it off, and then I had this crazy freaking badge all weekend, so no one even said anything to me. No one cared. So
that's a win for you right there.
So then we go up to the room. We're going to go to sleep. Sleeping arrangement was basically Phil had the master bedroom. It's a giant suite because he paid for it, so he gets the master bedroom. It's fair. OJ gets the fold-out couch,
which was strange, but
which probably was the worst of the 3. From what I saw. Yeah. Then I had a really nice cot.
Yeah, they just rolled it in there. The thing was huge. It's like the size of my bed at home, practically.
Yeah, it was great. And what I did was I put it in the... they actually had like a dining area in this suite. So I put it against the window, and I left the window open at night because I had this awesome view, and I was kind of like look at the stars and like doze off, which was really cool. But I'd wake up in the morning with the sun on my face. I kind of blew.
Nah.
It was cool. I mean, the heating and cooling system in the place was kind of strange.
It was terrible. So just to give you an idea of what the room was like, the TV area has a wall, and there's maybe a 3-foot, 4-foot section of that wall that on the other side is the dining area. So there's a small area that's divided by this wall. In this wall is a vent, and one side of the vent goes to the TV area, and one side of the vent goes to the dining room area. And you'd think, a vent like this, you're going to have the same air coming out of both sides. No. When the vent was blowing cool air toward me, it was blowing hot air toward John. When it was blowing hot air towards John, I was getting cold air.
Yeah, it's really odd. I wonder if it heats it too much, but then has to cool it to the point where...
Why would it cool the other side? It didn't make any sense. I mean, there was one thermostat for that entire room, and it got really weird.
I don't know. So I wake up sometimes freezing, but that's how it is. And really nice view looking out the window. Right by the window. It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
So that was Thursday. Friday, wake up, get ourselves together, get our stuff together. I think Phil made a video right in the morning, right after I woke up. I was pretty out of it. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, whoa, what's going on? And all of a sudden he's filming. And he's filming outside at the really nice view that we just talked about from the hotel window. There's this helicopter flying around. So I make the joke that that must be Obama's helicopter, or Obama's in there, right?
Yeah.
So then Phil uploads it, and all the people in the comments are saying that actually is the presidential helicopter.
Marine One.
They're like, that actually was it. So if he was in there or not, I don't know. But it definitely looked like, the reason I said is it looked like a really official helicopter. I don't know that much. Like, it's the presidential helicopter. I don't know, shit like that.
I haven't seen that many unofficial helicopters, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Well, it had like the black stripe, like the flag and everything. So.
Oh, a flag, pretty.
Some sort of a flag. I don't know. So that was that. So then you get out of the bathroom. You were in the bathroom this entire time. What were you doing in the bathroom? What's going on in there?
It takes me a long time to wash my hair, dude. I got like 3 feet of it.
Are you thinking about cutting, or what's going on? When was the last time you cut
Not for a while. I have a few goals I'd like to accomplish first.
Is it like lengthwise?
No, the goals aren't length related entirely.
Are they like costume related? Like you can do something with your hair? You can have like a beehive or something?
No, not gonna have a beehive. I'm not gonna go as...
I don't even want to know, man.
Then why would you ask?
Because I made a mistake.
It happens.
People make mistakes all the time.
It happens. We forgive you. The
Ramborgia are nothing. In the bathroom, he's not going to tell us what was going on in the bathroom. I have my suspicions.
Excuse me?
We grab all the boxes, head down to the vendor area. We head down to the vendor area, and before we even make it to the vendor area, we run into our new friend. His name is Victorn.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great guy.
Very nice.
He's a member of the Ramborgia.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually asked him. He goes, "Oh, I know you guys are. I'm fans of you guys. Came to see you." So I'm like, "Well, am I more attractive in person or in the videos?" To which he replied, "In person," which is a good answer, I think. What do you think about that question? All right, you don't have to answer that. So he's like, "Look, I really want to buy a John Presents the Show shirt. I really want it. I came to get it." So we're like, "All right, give us a couple minutes. We got to set up, and then we can do it." And then all of a sudden, between ourselves, we're like, well, we can't even get them out of the boxes soon enough. We might actually sell some stuff, because we actually had no idea how many or if any we would sell, since we'd never done this before.
Yeah.
We'd never done anything like this where we had physical product and a table and stuff like that. And I think we all had like different amounts that we thought. I was thinking like 8. And I think Phil was like, "No, we're gonna sell none." And I don't know what you said. What did you think?
I figured we'd sell a few.
You know we sell a few. Okay, so I just wanted to sell one. That was my personal goal. Just one. And he came back and he picked it up, and it was just like 5 minutes into this con, and I was like, I accomplished my goal. I'm super happy now.
You're like, I'm done. I can go home. You guys good? Let's back up.
Yeah, I was like, that was awesome. We got one sold, and but what wound up happening is over the course of the week we didn't really sell that many shirts, and I do have my theory as to why that is, and we're going to get into that a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
I think we sold less than 10 for the weekend, right?
I
don't know exactly. I think it was like less than 10. I know it was 3 for the show, and
Three
the
for
rest
the
were
show. At
yeah,
least 3 for Project 7. At least.
yeah, the rest were I think it was like 4 or 5. It was like the rest were Project 7. We sold 3 for the show. It was like the rest were for Project 7. I think it was less than 10 overall. So we didn't sell a lot, but the beautiful people that did pick one up were very enthusiastic about it. And in fact, 2 out of the 3 guys that bought the John Presents the Show shirt just immediately put it on.
Yeah.
So like they just started like changing their shirt and like putting the shirt on. And, like they just couldn't get it on soon enough. It was awesome. And Victorin actually wore it both days he was there.
Yeah, I think he wore another shirt underneath, though.
So he sacrificed hygiene to represent us, to represent the show, which was awesome. And to me, that's what it's really all about. You know, it's not about for me to being like a big mainstream success or making like a pile of cash or anything like that. You know, if we have a smaller but better audience that really appreciates what we do, then it's really worth it. You know, and like in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, I just a bunch of people that so far all y'all are a bunch of people that I just enjoy meeting because you guys are really nice, you're really cool, you got good sense of humor.
Yeah, we'd have like a
You're
small group of crazy people. It's better than like a big boring group of of people.
Yeah.
So I was more than satisfied with how we did as far as sales and the table goes.
I do want to say one other thing about
yes.
Victorn. He's very nice, yes. and he did actually also pick up a candle, and it was really cool, and he was a really nice guy.
A lot of people did. I'm going to put you over with the candles in a second. Don't worry.
No, I know. I just wanted to say because he sent me a message later saying that he really enjoyed Magfest and stuff.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, he's awesome. That's what I wanted to say.
I want you to think about it like this, John. I want you to think about it this way. Think about it like this. Okay, we drove 6 hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
To a place we've never been to, or I've never been to.
I've never been to National Harbor.
We have people that we never met or don't know us personally traveling to meet us, and some of them want to give us money so that they can wear something on their body that represents us. So if you think about it like that, there's no greater honor than that for me. And to show my appreciation to these guys that did buy the show shirt, I put their pictures in the intro video, as you saw. And even if we just sold one, that would have been amazing. I mean, if you think about it in those terms, you know?
Yeah, that really
people
is.
People, you're in a place you've never been to, people you don't know coming up to you saying they appreciate what you do and want to wear something on their body that it shows that they appreciate what you do. So, incredibly awesome. And that's definitely one of the highlights for me of not only the weekend, but probably of my existence, I would say.
Yeah,
I don't know how you feel about that.
No, you can't really see my expression or anything right now, but yeah.
So are you crying now?
No, I'm not crying. I'm just really thinking about it,
I think you're crying.
That's
just cry.
That's really amazing.
Cry on the air.
I'm not going to cry on the air.
Cry on the air.
I cried enough reading that X-Men comic, dang it.
All right, we'll talk about that too, but...
Oy.
So let's talk about your candles. I'm going to put over your candles, okay? So right from the start on Friday, it's just still Friday we're on. Even though we've been talking about this for about an hour already. But right from the start of Friday, you're immediately just killing it with the candles, your crazy amount of sales. And I want to put you over because I see a lot of people in the comments, foolish people, they say things like candles at a game convention, who wants candles, who would make candles, things like that. But I want to say that first of all, your candles are awesome.
Thank you.
They're really very cool. And to create something like that, it takes not only a lot of hard work, but also a great deal of talent.
Well, so I actually have a bottle of talent that I keep at home. It's a white wine. Actually.
Okay, well you just ruined it.
Sorry.
But your candles are very very unique, and there's no one else doing that kind of thing with like gaming related stuff in them. And I don't think it really matters what I think anyway, because everyone at these cons really loves these candles, and you sell a ton of these candles. So what do you have to say in general about your candle adventures at Magfest and that whole thing?
Well, I mean, I was really surprised. People seem to really like them. I mean, Magfest, we'll probably get into this a bit at the end, but it's a unique crowd.
Yeah.
Like I've been to a few major conventions, Otakon, PAX East, New York Comic Con. I've only ever sold stuff here and at New York Comic Con, but you get a kind of idea of, what the attendees are like. New York Comic Con people are kind of rushing around trying to get from point A to point B. They want to buy stuff. They want to see stuff. They want to get stuff. Otakon people want to hang out, and there's a huge emphasis on cosplay, and, they're pretty geeky. PAX East, it's the whole gaming thing. Like there's not that much real. There's not a big like store section. There's a small artist alley and stuff. But here at Magfest, I mean, this is a volunteer-run convention. These people, everyone there, seems to really want to focus on music and the gaming. That's the Mag and Magfest, and it wasn't really a huge commercial crowd. I got the feeling, but people wanted to just go around, see cool stuff. Even if they didn't buy anything, I was happy to show off what I had, and like everyone just seemed really cool, like walking around, looking at everything. It just seemed like a really chill group of people.
Yeah, it was definitely very different than the other cons we went to this year.
Yeah,
there wasn't even that much cosplay in it.
I mean, it
not a tremendous amount, and it wasn't. And you could see, like, I was going to talk about this later, but we'll do it now. But I think I didn't really see anyone really selling a lot of stuff. I don't think it was really about the marketplace.
No.
Something like Kineticon, that's marketplace. You have all these different retailer guys or stores in the area that come and they set up shop in the convention. It really wasn't like that. It was mostly like just people that, similar to you actually, that handmade something, like created something of their own and wanted to sell it to the rest of the community. But I didn't see anyone like going crazy with sales and things like that. So I think that was part of the reason why we didn't sell a lot. And I think the big thing with Magfest, like you said, was the bands, all these free concerts that you get to go to, and the 24-hour game arcade room was another big thing. I think those are the selling points, I think, for this convention for people.
Yeah. Just the fact that the dealer's room and the game room are open 24/7 is like, that blows my mind. What do you
have to say about the actual candle stuff? Like, I noticed a lot of people. Well, actually, let's just talk about this. So, you were pretty much stationed behind the counter for the most part.
Yeah.
And I kind of stood in front of it, kind of just corralling people in.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, do you think I hurt your sales, or do you think I helped your sales? Because a lot of people that saw my videos were like, "Oh, John's turning people off to to coming over to the table."
I don't know. I mean, there are a couple of people. I think it evened out pretty much. I think that the people who you did bring over were pretty amused at the way that you brought them over, and the people that you may or may not have driven away probably wouldn't have wanted to hang out with me anyway. So I think it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, I definitely. If you see my videos from Magfest, I definitely felt in my element. That was my element, just talking to people. Like depending on what they say and reacting to what they say, and they react to what I say, and it was very fun. If you've seen the videos, you definitely see I had a great time.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a great past in retail. I definitely put that experience to use here. It's interesting because I approach everyone the same way,
Mm-hmm.
and you have all kinds of different reactions. You have people laughing at what I'm saying. Some people take what I'm saying as an insult. Some people are insulted, and some people just run away or ignore me.
Hey, come back! Completely. Hey, we got candles. Come back!
So it's definitely a real human experiment, like how people take something, the same thing, and interpret it or react to it so differently. But as far as your stuff goes, like anytime like a woman, a girl came by, and I was like, check out the candles. They would come over and they really dug it. That's pretty much a big part of your audience, I would say, which is good. Which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd say so. I mean,
and there's a lot. Honestly, I think I helped you. I think I helped you out.
Yeah. If anything, you probably did. Although there was that guy who was just like running, which is pretty. Some
people. I don't think they were. I don't think that guy was a serious buyer anyway.
Yeah. That's what I was getting at before. Yeah.
But I had a ton of fun just like bringing people over, and the aisle that we're in was kind of slow, so I'd kind of stand in different areas and just be like, "Oh, there's a candle over there. Go check it out."
I mean, well, that's half the fun of having a table is just talking with people, and I mean, it's when you're behind a counter like that, it's weird because like there's a lot of people who would just walk by and I'd see they have a cool shirt or they got a cool costume, I want to talk to them or something, but I don't want them to think I'm just talking with them to say, "Hey, I like your shirt, buy something." And a lot of times I just when you're behind a counter like that, you can just talk with people. Also, it's a little more liberating too, because if you're nervous about talking to people, if you're behind that counter, you're supposed to talk to people. They understand that's why you're behind the counter, so it makes it a lot easier to get that opener out. Well, you shouldn't feel uncomfortable talking to people. You're just people. You're a person there. You're a person. They're a person. Everyone's on equal footing in the world. So yeah, that's true. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Nah, you're right. You're right.
So I think a lot of people were just kind of like, I'd be like, check out these candles, check out these shirts. I think they would just do it sometimes just to like make all right, I'll make them happy and they'll let me go maybe. Some people just ran, or some people were like, all right, I'll just do what he says and then maybe he'll let me go. But so I think some of them were like, oh wow, okay, this is actually cool, and they
What are you, a serial
something.
killer? Just do what he says and let me go.
I don't know. That's how some of them act, but I'm just having fun.
Yeah, they know. I mean, well, as evidenced by some of your video that you took, people took your approach in an interesting way.
We all have fun.
Creeper.
Yes. So we sold stuff. I think we threw the towel in around like 6 or 7.
Yeah, because we wanted to.
We wanted to enjoy ourselves.
Yeah, we wanted to go see Arm.
All right, hold on.
Yeah.
All right, so around 6 or 7, my friend Mars Gotti.
Yeah.
Mars Gatai, whatever you prefer. He came to Magfest, and you can find him in a lot of videos on my channel playing Super Turbo. A ton of videos on my channel playing Super Turbo. He's the best Guile player like ever in the United States. So he met up with us, and then we all went out to a nice dinner together. It was a couple of us at the Cadillac Diner, was it?
Cadillac Ranch, Cadillac Diner, Cadillac Burger, Cadillac something.
Something like that. So what did you order at the diner there?
Well, first of all, we ordered an order of wings, half dry rub and half barbecue, which were incredible.
Yeah, this was a great dinner.
And then we ordered the cheese fries. I took a video of the cheese fries, but they came out rather dim. I'll see if it's worth posting.
Okay.
But basically, they bring out a tray of wings. Yay! Then we just see this orange speckled mass placed on a plate in front of us, a really big plate, like the size of my keyboard almost.
Yeah.
And I just look at it, and there's 3 or 4 different types of cheese, and buried underneath this, it looks like an omelet at this point, because it's all yellow and it's round. It looks like half of an egg, like that shape, half of an oval, just there. And we start jabbing at it, pulling at it, and the food is really good. What did I order as actual food? I believe I ordered. Did I get the burger? Yeah, I got a really good burger.
Okay.
Oh my god.
That was a nice place. It had a bunch of like license plates in the ceiling, and it was cool. I liked it a lot.
And what looked like either really high-tech prints or oil paintings of rock and roll legends around the walls.
Yes.
But back to my burger for a second. That burger was one of the best burgers I had ever had. It was perfect. It had some spice in it, and it was crispy on the outside, but still medium on the inside. It was a shame that I forgot and put ketchup on it.
Are you done talking about this burger? I always tell you not to put ketchup. I don't want to get off on a tangent here. Do I always tell you that?
This is the first I've heard it from you that I can remember.
I always tell you not to do it.
Well, okay, I'll remember it for next time. And that burger
always decide I have to put ketchup on it. I have to put the. All right, forget it. We're not talking about the start.
Maryland Ramborgia, go to Cadillac, get a burger. It's good.
We already did the food show. We're not doing it again.
Burger.
All right, so then we went to eat. Then we went to see some bands. We saw Arm Cannon.
Arm Cannon.
Which was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
My personal favorites from their musical set was Hulk Hogan's theme song, Shawn Michaels' theme song, and some music from F-Zero, which was really awesome.
Yeah, especially when the dudes in front of us decided they'd start running in a
racetrack
counterclockwise circle. It took me a second to realize what they were doing. Then I went, "Oh my gosh, are you kidding?"
They played F-Zero, so they started doing a actual
race,
like a racetrack, and they're running circles.
They did pretty well until they hit that open half pipe section, and a few of the racers went careering off into the ground below. But it was pretty good.
All right, so you actually did some headbanging. I don't know what that was about. You're like, I want to headbang. I was like, what are you talking about? So all of a sudden he goes over there, lets his hair down, and starts doing some headbanging.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. The only problem is by the time I realize, I could headbang to this, that part ends. Or the
then you're just like standing there like, oh.
Like, well, I'll come back to it, right?
All right, so then you guys wanted to there's actually bands after band after band. You guys wanted to see the next one, but I was completely done. I was completely shot. And if you see my videos, you could tell I was obviously running around and using a lot of energy. Putting a lot of energy out there talking to these people. So I was pretty done. I decided to go back to the hotel room.
Yeah.
Which I did. I actually watch the movie Blow with Johnny Depp, which I
think
enjoyed.
we walked back with you and then left again.
Okay, yeah. I was like, I'm going to watch this movie. You guys do what you got to do. And then you guys saw a few more bands. So how was that whole thing? I wasn't there, so you can talk about that.
We went to go see Metroid Metal. And I'll admit, I enjoyed Arm Cannon a lot more. No offense to Metroid Metal, but I recognized the songs from Arm Cannon a lot better, and it really made me start thinking, do I only like music that I can recognize? Because this Metroid Metal stuff, the Metroid stuff that I recognized, I thought was pretty cool, but a lot of it I was just like, I don't know what you're playing, and it's really loud, and I just hear 4 guitars. It was good, but I don't know. I was a lot happier with Arm Cannon, and if I weren't exhausted, the band after Metroid Metal was the Megas, which I'd heard was really good, but I was just too exhausted and couldn't stay.
So you guys didn't watch? I think I was like pretty much out when you guys got back to the room.
Yeah, you were pretty close to unconscious. I was worried that reading was going to keep you up because I had the light on, but you seemed okay.
All right, so one last thing before we move on to Sunday. I want to say something.
Sunday? Dude, we're still on Friday, dude.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, before we get to Saturday. All right.
Yeah.
So I want to say that I want to get your opinion on this.
Oh.
I definitely kind of got the feeling that we were kind of like outsiders at this place. And I'm not saying that in the sense that we didn't belong there or that people didn't want us there or anything like that. I say this because I think you could definitely see that there's a little bit of a clubhouse mentality between the internet pseudo-celebrities there that, you know, they probably had seen each other. They've probably seen each other a lot, like a million times, different conventions, and they probably run the same like concert throughout the year. So I think they probably all know each other. So I feel like a lot of them are kind of like, who the hell are these guys coming in here? And what's funny is I don't know who any of them are. So I don't know any of these people. Like, I don't really watch anything on the internet. I watch Conan O'Brien. I watch like Kevin Smith movies.
Yeah.
Which we'll also talk about in a minute. So I don't know. I kind of got that sense where people were kind of like, who are these people? I feel like all those guys were kind of like friendly. And I don't know. What's your take on this?
Well, as far as the like internet celebrities and stuff, there weren't too many that we really interacted with. I mean, we ran into,
well, that's exactly my point.
yeah, I mean, the Hey Ash, What You Playing people were cool. I talked to them a little bit later. I ran into a few, but mostly like one guy, Graham Stark from Loading Ready Run, was kind of lost. He was trying to find the Magfest information table in the dealer's room. So I said, hey, I'm a big fan of your work, blah, blah, blah. You guys are hilarious, blah, blah, blah. Shake your hand, thank you. Oh, you're looking for the information table. It's right over there. It's like, okay, bye. I mean, but we didn't really have any, like you said, yeah, didn't really have too much interaction with any of those guys. I mean,
yeah, so, there wasn't really much going on. But I could see within their own, like, they had like their own circles going.
I don't know. I didn't notice them
themselves
mingling. Did you notice mingling between the various internet groups? Really?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see any of that. Wow.
Well, I don't know. That's my spiel. But I don't know. But I personally have no aspirations to be part of like the internet star club or anything like that.
Well,
but I also doubt they would want us anyway.
Oh, dude, come on, you're awesome. Everyone wants you.
I don't know. That's just my thing. I felt like we were kind of like the new kids on the block, and like because
they've never seen us before. They don't know.
Never did this thing. So,
I mean, they're too busy running their own stuff. You know, they don't have time to look at all the up and coming people on the interwebs.
There's definitely points like where we were outside the panel, and I was like, people were like, "Oh, can you sign this? Can you take your picture?" There's other people looking on, like who the hell is this fucking guy getting his picture taken with? There's a little bit of that going on, but
that's how I feel every time I sign something. Like, wow, okay, cool.
It adds to the fun of it, you know. So,
not to dissuade anyone from having me sign stuff. I love signing stuff.
All right, so we left off with we went to sleep on Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we said I was totally dead.
Yeah, we were all
came in. You guys went to sleep. So I was woken up several times throughout the night because our good friend Howard continuously called me.
Yeah.
And I never answered the phone, but he just kept calling. So Howard and Respect the Pack, they were coming in late Friday night, and I think they got there like maybe 1, 2 in the morning, Saturday morning. And he called me like I guess when they got there, and he called me again. Like I don't know what was going on. Then he called me like eight in the morning.
Why was he awake at 8 in the morning?
So he didn't sleep for like the whole night. I don't know what was going on. He got there at like 2 and like was up by 8 and calling me. So they just kept going on and on. And then what happened on Saturday morning? You were like, I'm going to go sell stuff.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that at least somebody was manning the table on what's ostensibly the most busy con day.
All right, so Howard was there, and with Respect to PAX, we're like, all right, they're going to come to our room, we're going to talk. So why don't you go down? You set up, and then we'll meet you down there.
Yeah, in other words, oh my gosh, someone please get rid of OJ so we can have an adult conversation.
No, that's not true. But we did have to have like a meeting about what we're going to do with the panel. So John's at the goes to the booth and he's gone. Those guys come over. First they have to register. We talked about this earlier. They don't actually get their badges. That took a long time. That was part of the issue.
Yeah.
And then we're like, all right, well, we have to talk about the panel. We have to have like a little bit of a meeting, like how we're going to film it, things we're going to discuss and how it's going to work and stuff like that. So we're like, all right, let's go out and get some breakfast, and then we'll go back. So we were gone we left you for like 2 hours, I think.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, dude. I thought you guys were going to go like to the equivalent of Dunkin' Donuts or something. You went to a full-blown restaurant. You went to Ketchup.
We had to sit down and talk, though. That was part of the issue.
Yeah.
So are you upset about this? What's going on here?
I was just hungry. And, like, I don't know. I was just like, I thought, like, you guys didn't give me any idea how long you'd be gone. I didn't think it would take that long. So I'm sitting there like,
so John's there like forever.
We're back yet. Where are
nice breakfast.
Are they okay?
I had the Southern-style breakfast with grits.
Aw, dude.
Bacon.
You're not making this any easier.
All right, so then like we go back to the vendor area. John's there, he's dying. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go get you breakfast. So I go to the place inside of the hotel.
Yep.
And I'm like, all right, give me a juice and a bagel. And they're like, what kind of bagel? I'm like, I don't know, just give me a plain bagel. Do you want heated? No, just give me a plain bagel. So I get $8.
Yeah.
One plain bagel and a juice. So I give that to you.
Somehow John knew that I like plain bagels. Like with
really?
nothing on them. Yeah.
That's what you wanted?
That's how I eat bagels at when I worked at Dunkin' Donuts. That's how I ate bagels. I would just take a bagel and bite it like a donut.
I just didn't want to be bothered, so I was like, just give me plain. Like, I don't want to think about anything. Just give me plain bagel.
Nice.
So then we're selling stuff for a little bit, and it was bizarre. Again, this is a weird convention, because Friday was busier than Saturday.
Yeah.
At Magfest, which is strange, right?
I wonder if everyone stayed up all night Friday and they were sleeping through the day on Saturday.
Yeah, maybe they were just like so dead but it didn't even pick up like Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, well, that's the thing that always makes me laugh, because y'all stay up late, like, all night, like to 5 a.m. or something, and you sleep 8 hours. You're still having the same amount of active time for the rest of the weekend. It doesn't gain you much.
Yeah, it's true.
But hey, whatever's fun, man. Sometimes things are just more fun late in the night.
Oh yes, that is correct.
Like shouting at elevators.
So I think you actually did better on Sunday and Friday than you did on Saturday with the sales, right?
I did better on Friday and
the place is just really
better
weird.
on Friday, which is usually the worst day, followed by Sunday, which is usually second best, and Saturday, which is usually the best, is the worst.
It's really strange. So of course Saturday was the big day. That was the panel day. We had a panel. We never did a panel before. So we go to the place for the panel about a half hour before it was going to begin. I think it was like 1. The actual panel's at 1:30. So we go in there and we set up the projector. Respect the Pack guys are awesome.
Yeah.
You should follow them on YouTube.
You should.
They helped set up the projector. And then there was some time to kill. So as we talked about earlier, John entertained the audience with his impressions, his comedic stylings, his transformations into cars.
Wasn't going to do the dildo thing in front of all those people.
Okay. So that was that. So then you, Howard, and I decide, okay, we're going to go outside of the door and we're going to get more people to come in.
Yeah.
Okay? Which I don't think we really had any kind of impact on, to be honest with you. I think that most of the people that came in were pretty much going to come. They were coming no matter what.
Yeah.
But I think what we wound up doing, which was a nice touch, is that we kind of like stood out there and welcomed everyone.
Yeah.
As they came through, which I don't think anyone else at Magfest did, as far as like the panel goes. So everyone that came in, we weren't necessarily like, come in. They were already coming in anyway. We were like, thank you for coming. We really appreciate it. And we took some pictures and signed some stuff as they came in through the door.
Confused some people who were looking for other stuff too. It was awesome.
That's another thing. I thought it was important that we did this because the place was kind of confusing. So if they saw me or you or Howard, they would go, oh, that's where the thing must be.
Yeah, well, the thing is, we were in panel 5. And
it's all the way in the back.
Which is all the way in the back, but it's in, say, I don't remember what it's called, but say it's called the Greyhound section, right?
It was called Chesapeake.
Okay, Chesapeake. So it's called, we're in panel 5 in Chesapeake. Okay. So then you look over, and then you get into Chesapeake, and there's Chesapeake A through F, G through L, whatever, stuff like that. Right. And then there's Chesapeake 1 through 5. And people are thinking, oh, Chesapeake 5, that's where I'm going. No, right. Panel 5 is Chesapeake J through L.
Yeah, I mean, like the worst thing that could have happened in my mind was that someone that really wanted to go but was not going to be able to find it. Now, like, I was really afraid of that, so I also was like, I'm going to stand right outside this hallway, and they see me, and then they'll come in. So the panel itself, let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
I thought it went really well.
Mm-hmm.
It was mostly on Phil. It was like 90% on Phil, which makes it easier for us and nice for us, too.
Yeah, one thing about how we sat down.
Yeah.
People were posting comments like, look at that, OJ's as far from Phil as possible. Actually, I wanted to be on the end because I was helping John and people outside, blah, blah, blah. And also, Project 7, the main players on that would be John, Rambo, Phil, and Howard. And then the Respect the Pack guys. So, like, you know what? They should all be sitting next to each other. So I took the end seat.
Yeah, and then Paul from Respect the Pack, he actually didn't even sit on the panel like he was welcome to. He actually was the one that filmed the whole panel for Phil.
Yeah, you could see him rotate the camera around and stuff. He was very nice.
He was a great shot. He was really good. Yeah, he did all the great shots and moving and stuff, and really good. So, like we said, it was mostly on Phil. It was 90% on him to carry it, which is nice sometimes. You don't have to go nuts. I just, like, going into it, I was like, I want to get in a line. Like all I want is one line and make, like, this room laugh. There's, like, 50 people in the room. I just want to make them laugh, like, one time.
Yeah.
I think I was able to actually pull it off, like, a few times, if you watch it.
Yeah, you did it a few times. I got to speak once, and I did say something funny, which made me happy.
Yeah, you got a little chuckle out of you, I noticed.
Yeah.
People love you, man. I don't think you realize.
No, don't worry. I'm just saying. I'm sitting up at the panel. I wanted to say something, and then someone asked a question that, like, fit me perfectly, because he asked a question similar to, like, just trying to get yourself out there and to do stuff, and I'm terrible at posting videos. Like, it takes me 2 weeks to do a video, pretty much.
Yes.
And it's just like, that's the thing. That's the hump you got to get over. I'm still struggling with it. So he showed he had the same problem. I was like,
yeah, but that applies to all kinds of things. That could be applied to, like, your candle stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
It's pretty much like, how do I get started doing something I want to do, and which is something you've experienced. So
yeah, I mean, honestly, the simplest advice I could give is just do it. Well, what do you mean do it? Just do something.
So you certainly are an endearing character on camera. Off camera, you are a completely different person. You are a savage, filthy person. All right, so let's talk about Project 7. People watched it. We all watched it together.
Mm-hmm.
People laughed at all the red stuff. I think there was a few jokes that didn't get the strongest reaction, or as strong as I would thought, but there were people that did get it. Yeah. It wasn't like any joke that no one got or no one popped for. So there always was a reaction at the right stuff. Sometimes it wasn't what I thought maybe it would be. But
that's how it goes, man.
That's how it goes, and it felt good to honestly sit there and play it as the audience reacts to it. That felt really interesting to me.
I mean, that showed you, that you get to see, you can kind of try and gauge what it's saying to people, what they're getting from it.
It was like we worked hard on this, and here's the culmination of it. Now that people really enjoy it, so it felt really good.
And you should be proud. You should be proud.
What do you think about the whole reaction to Project 7?
I thought it was very positive, and it was a really good start, and I'm eager to see where it goes.
Yeah, like afterwards I asked a lot of people what they thought, and they all said it was good. I was actually going to put some of that footage up, but it wasn't very interesting. I was hoping someone would be like, it sucked. Like, I would have put that up. Or someone would like, people were just like, yeah, it was really good. It was funnier than I thought it would be.
I like when someone...
So it wasn't really anything that was like worth putting out.
Well, what about when somebody said, oh, I loved the corny acting? That was on purpose, right?
Someone said that?
There was some exchange that basically that was...
Oh, yeah. That girl said that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because she came back to our table later.
She was like, I love the corny acting. I'm like, it wasn't on purpose.
Yeah, it was cool. Like,
she's like, are you sure? She like didn't believe me that the acting was like that, She thought we like was purposely made it like that, but we never did acting before. I had to try to explain it to her. She's like, no, you guys did that on purpose. It was great.
No, she was really cool.
Like, all right.
She came over to the table, and she was looking at the candles and stuff, and she like did a double take and looked at him. She said, "Oh, you were the guys from the panel."
Right.
Yup, right here.
I wonder if anyone's out there that took my card, please, and are watching or this or whatever, please let me know. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
See.
And to those of you who took mine, thank you.
I did get a ton of subscribers over the weekend, though. I don't know what happened.
Nice. I got some candle requests.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
I was giving out cards. I didn't give out too many cards because I really liked the cards, so I don't really want to get rid of them all.
Yeah, well, that's another thing. Yeah, at Comic-Con, I went through 500 cards pretty much. Here, I went through maybe 50.
Right. Plus, I was being kind of crazy with the camera, so I didn't really want people to know.
Yeah, you were having fun.
I was like, here, I just insulted you. Here's my contact information.
If you want to see your humiliation forevermore, go to John Rambo Presents.
I don't think I humiliate anybody. You think I humiliate people?
No, not at all, man. Creeper.
It's just honest reactions to things.
Yeah.
And that's all it was. So that was the panel, and then afterwards you hung out for a little bit and took some pictures and
yeah, that was nice. And someone was very nice. He actually brought, like, he put together a composite photo of 4 shots from New York Comic Con. He and his girlfriend and Phil and John.
Yeah, his name's Dingo.
Me in a separate picture.
That was Dingo who did that.
Yeah, Dingo. It was so nice. Really cool. I mean, that was really nice of him to bring us those photos. That was really cool.
So far the highlights for me: selling some shirts, and having people watch Project 7, which is something that we worked hard to put together, and then they reacted. That was pretty awesome. So, after that, we went back to the table, tried to sell some more stuff. Didn't really work out. Then we went out to dinner.
Yep.
And this was crazy. We had a group of 10 people because we just started walking like from the vendor place to the restaurant area, and people just started like joining the group, and we had this insane group of 10 people.
It's your personal magnetism, John.
I don't know what was going on, but it actually included my friend Mars Gotti once again. Mars Gotti from the day before came again, and then also joining us this time, our good friend B-Ron.
Yeah.
Who you should all know if you're a fan of John Presents. You should all know from the original videos on this channel in Japan. He was my teammate at Togeki 2010. And he actually lives in Maryland.
Yeah.
So he came to hang out with us.
Yeah, I do want to point out that B-Ron is the fellow that someone once confused with me.
You told him that, right? You haven't seen him in a long time.
Yeah, he laughed.
I haven't seen him in like 6 months. You haven't seen him in like a year, right?
No, I haven't seen him since we were in Japan.
Yeah, so OJ came to Japan and then met B-Ron. We hung out quite a bit, the 3 of us, for like several days. I think we hung out, going to different sites and stuff.
Time, yeah.
Yeah, we hung out like all day and night, so he was with us. It was really awesome. So we had this group of 10 people. We're wandering like the streets looking for a place to eat. And what would have to happen is OJ would have to go into these restaurants and ask if they could accommodate 10 people.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell about that? How was that?
So we first asked at this one restaurant. It was an Irish pub.
Yeah.
And I asked, how long would it be? And they said an hour at least. So we're like, okay, we're going to try another place. So I come out and I say, hey guys, it's going to be an hour. What do you want to do? Do you want to get a buzzer? Like, no, let's keep going. So we start walking around. We try all these other places, and they keep telling us, we could get you in at 9, which is like 2 hours from now, and all sorts of nonsense like that. So we walk all the way down the street, and then we just turn around and say, fine, we'll go back to that other place. We have time. We'll hang out for an hour. We go in, and I ask, hey, we're back. Can we sign up that party at 10? And the hostess says, okay, it's probably going to be closer to an hour and a half. I'm like, okay. So I get the buzzer, and then I realize, we're across the street from Cadillac, where we ate the night before. So I'm like, okay, look, you guys stay here.
Yeah, we try to double
Phil
dip
the buzzer, and we go to reserve a table at the other restaurant. Yeah. And they say, okay, it's going to be an hour. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, we try to double dip on it. So we had 2 different things. Yeah. Like one of us will call, and then we can go.
Yeah, but we take the buzzer, and I walk back over. So and I just I sit down with you guys. Some people go to the CVS and wander around or whatever. I'm sitting here playing DS, and so we were talking. Time goes by. It's been like a half hour, and I think I better go check in at the other restaurant. I go back to the to Cadillac and say, hey, just checking in. Want to make sure this thing's okay. By the way, what's the range on this? And the hostess says, oh yeah, you can't leave the gate outside or it stops working. Like,
oh, nice. Did they actually call us?
No, they didn't.
They never called us anyway.
But so
all right, so we wound up going to this Irish pub.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a bummer because it wasn't really. First of all, how long did we wait for? Like over an hour and a half?
Probably 45 to 50 minutes.
Okay. So we go to this place. We have a group of 10, and there's a lot of people we haven't seen in a long time. People want to talk to. Some of the actual fans were there too, so we were like, "Oh, we'll talk to them."
Yeah.
And we go in there, and there's this dude playing music.
It's an Irish pub.
Telling jokes. And I can't really knock him because I told jokes and play music, so I can't really be like, "Oh, no, he was bad." That's what I do, so it's not cool. But you couldn't hear you couldn't talk to anyone. You couldn't hear anything.
You're right in front of him.
It was right in front of him, so that was a bummer. We couldn't really talk to anyone. And the food wasn't very good either, so it was kind of a...
I got the Irish soda bread, and I'll be honest, the Irish soda bread and the honey butter with currants in it was great. Everything else,
I had a sandwich where the bread was completely burned. I mean, I can make this. Can I go in the back and heat some bread? I don't know.
Oh.
So that wasn't that great, but it was still kind of fun. It still had a kind of a kooky situation with we had this giant table with 10 people sitting.
Yeah.
A whole cast of characters, and
it was crazy.
So it still had some goofiness and some entertaining aspects to it, I thought.
Yeah, not to mention I was at the other restaurant waiting, and you guys called me over, and I was completely confused. I'm like, what? Huh? So I go and hand them the buzzer back, say, oh, sorry, I got to go, bye, and just run.
We're always having fun. There's always some kind of crazy situation.
That's how we
take a normal situation and make it out of control. That's just how we do it.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, we all went to the Earthbound Papa's concert.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Which is Uematsu's his name?
Nobu Uematsu.
Nobu Uematsu's band. That was very cool. We all had a great time at that.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I wasn't sure what to expect. I didn't know if it was going to be rock music, orchestral stuff, rockestral stuff. Ended up being rock versions of some of his old Final Fantasy songs and some new stuff too, which is pretty cool.
I felt really inspired to play the old Final Fantasies again. I was like, man, I want to play.
Oh gosh, now I really want to finish 4.
I don't actually have the Super Nintendo cartridges.
Oh, I have some.
I might just, I don't know. We'll see.
Here, I'll lend you Mystic Quest.
I don't really have time for this.
Understood.
But it's after watching, I was like, I want to play. I also wanted to buy his CD, but it was sold out.
It was sold out before the concert. They were selling it outside the vendor's hall that you walked past all the time.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I wish you would let me know. I would have let you know, dude.
You got to communicate with me better.
As do you.
All right, so we saw the concert, and that was great. That was awesome. This was a great night, by the way, I have to say.
Well, the ending.
Because you think, this was just a great day.
Yeah.
And because first of all, you had a panel, which was insane. You got to see a nice concert. You got to go, even though the food wasn't that good, 10 people, 10 of your friends, probably 10 of my best friends actually, at a sitting at a table and eating together.
Mm-hmm.
See Uematsu's band, which not everyone gets to do. And then we're like, it's midnight at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So we're like, all right, we're going to do now. So we have myself, we have Mars, and we have B-Ron. And we're all pretty good Super Turbo players, we're not bad,
Yeah.
So we're okay, right?
Yeah, you guys are okay.
So then we catch wind that there's a Super Turbo cabinet in the arcade room at Magfest. So we go to this huge arcade room, which is actually 24 hours, with all kinds of classic arcade games. And like what I said before, I really think this is what, more than anything else, is what Magfest is about. People going to hang out in this arcade area and just play games, console games too, not only just arcade.
Oh, that and doing the Colossus yell.
All right, why don't you talk about that since you brought it up?
Well, one thing I noticed when I was in there, they had 2 or 3 of the old X-Men arcade games. The old one where Magneto says, "Welcome to die," and stuff like that. But in the game, if you play as Colossus, every character has a special move. When you do Colossus's, he just kind of goes really loudly. And apparently, so does everybody in the room. Throughout the entire weekend.
The thing.
Yeah, throughout the entire weekend, people just go.
Uematsu did it.
He did it. While he was on stage, people went crazy. But
so anyway, I think this arcade room is what Magfest is about. I think most other cons are about the marketplace or the panels or the cosplay, and this was pretty much about this game room. So
yeah,
we go there, we start playing Super Turbo. The cabinet's okay, it's not great, but we start playing and we're getting into it. We're going pretty nuts,
Yeah,
and people are watching in disbelief of what's going on here. And there's random con goers are trying to play, and it was destroying them. They're like, what the hell? Who the fuck are these people? And it was great because I actually hadn't played Street Fighter since September, so I felt at first I felt weird, and then I was like, this feels really good. I feel alive again, I felt alive again for the first time in months playing this game with these guys, and we had an awesome time. Played till 2 a.m.
Yeah, I was right. The cabinet's right next door. I come over and would speak with John every now and then, but I was playing Capcom vs. SNK 2, which I hadn't played in years.
Which I also played.
Yeah, and it was, oh my gosh, I want to play that game more and more now. It was so fun.
It was pretty fun. I actually had a nice streak going in that game.
Yes, amazingly, I had like a streak for a little while. Like I won twice or twice in a row.
You also got to use my team because I stopped playing.
Oh gosh, yeah, but people don't know what to do against Chang, so
I never lost. I was like, I don't want to play anymore this game. I'm going to play some character. So I just walked away after. Like,
just went back to the real game.
Yes. So it was like we played till like 2 in the morning. I was pretty done, and then I actually heard like I talked to those guys like when I got back home, make sure they all got home and everything. They played till like 4.
Nah.
So it was pretty crazy, man. So that was a fun night.
Very fun night.
You got upset with me though when you talk about that or no?
All right, quickly. So I'm getting pretty tired. It's like 1 something. Like, okay, I kind of want to go to bed. I go over to John. I'm like, hey, when are you going to go to bed? He's like, oh, no, I'm going to play a little bit more. So I'm like, okay, should I get back in line for CVS 2? He's like, yeah, whatever. So I go to get in line for Capcom vs. SNK 2. I play once, and then I get back in the end of the line again. And, you know, John's still playing, whatever. Then I'm on deck. I'm the next person to, like, someone loses. The guy in front of me starts playing, so I'm on deck. I'm going to be up next. And John comes over. He's like, hey, I'm going back to the room. Come on, let's go to bed. I'm like, wait, dude, I'm next. Just hold on, man. Like, each match takes about 5 minutes. I know it's long, so 10 minutes. Like,
Right.
if I win, I'll leave. It was what I was thinking. I don't know if I said that out loud, but it was definitely what I was thinking. But John's like, nope, I'm going to go. I'm like, I waited for you, dude. And then John goes up.
Well, that's just how I am, though. I mean, when I'm done, I'm done. Like,
Yeah,
I'm done. Okay, I'm
yeah.
done.
I know. I don't hold it against
So-
you. Either way, when I played, I was so tired I lost.
Yeah, I think you should have came with me, though, because I knew you were going to lose because you were tired. And it was late, and you also forgot to say goodbye to everybody. Cause you
Yeah,
were so,
I felt terrible. I asked you for some email address, you know, so I could send it. I'm sorry I left email.
I got your Burons.
Yeah, actually, I don't have Mars's or, well, Howard I can speak with.
So that was one of the best days I ever had, because you think about I had a panel with people who came to see, you know, I don't know what you call it, a movie, I guess, that we made. Got to have a nice dinner, got to see Uematsu's band, got to play Super Turbo for like 4 hours at night.
Yeah,
That's a pretty good day.
yeah, I'd say that's a pretty good day for anyone.
All right, so what happened on Sunday? Why don't you take it?
Well, on Sunday we woke up and we went down to the dealer's room and we're just kind of like, you're kidding, right? Like it was dead, man. We hung out there for a little while, if I recall correctly, but we were just kind of getting antsy and
Yeah, it was like our final
lunchtime.
stab. It was our final stab at selling our unholy combination of shirts and candles. I think we did actually sell some.
We sold a bunch actually, and I talked to some people, and actually, oh gosh, James Patrick Lowry and Ellen McLean, the voices of the sniper and GLaDOS and the administrator from Team Fortress and a bunch of other stuff. They had been there on Friday, but they came back.
Yeah.
Which I thought was pretty cool because they weren't there at all on Saturday, so I felt bad thinking, oh no one's gonna get to see them. But they came back and they were there, so they had a big crowd. But aside from that, there wasn't too much activity going on.
Right.
So we hung out for a while. We sold some stuff. We packed up bit by bit, you know, while stuff was going on, and it was a good old time. But if I recall correctly, we ate lunch somewhere. Yeah, we went to Elevation Burger. Yeah,
Which I was not a fan.
It wasn't that bad.
Well, I had to wait like 40 minutes while you guys ate.
Yeah, that's true. Elevation Burger, the way that the burgers come out, it seems like they come out in batches.
Yeah, it's kind of strange.
Phil's batch and my batch were the same batch because they do all this stuff fresh and whatnot. John was in the next group of burgers. So,
you guys were done by the time we got to eat.
Yeah, like if we hadn't ordered French fries, we would have been completely done by the time John even got his food. But it you know, the burger wasn't bad. I mean, it was bigger than most fast food burgers. I don't remember if it was more expensive. I think it was. But that was nice. And what killed me was on the way in, we had seen a place called Cake Love, a cake store. I love cake stores. I think you can probably tell from looking at me, I love cake stores. And I wanted to go to this place so badly, and I got the address, and it was down the stairs from Elevation Burger. Like, if we had gone down and through the hill, we would have seen it. But instead, we went up the street because we thought it was on the same street. We had the address. Didn't find it. Never made it. No cake. Very sad.
You get your cakes.
I know.
You got your ice cream, though, later on.
Oh, booyah.
So then Sunday, what else did we do? We hung out in the room a little bit.
Yeah, we hung out in the room. We just tried to cool down. I mean, we just gone through a lot of stuff. We were talking with people all day. Our voices were sore.
We watched this stupid movie. I don't know why.
Okay, I found out what that movie was. So it wasn't even a movie. It was a TV show.
No, not that. We watched that Frida movie.
Oh gosh, we watched a movie based on Frida Kahlo. She married Diego Rivera. She was an artist, very depressed. She got
Yeah, we all like you, me, and Phil sat there and watched this movie, and like, oh,
the
like,
second half. Yeah, that was kind of. Well, we
weird.
needed it. We needed to chill, and just
Like didn't matter what was on. We just need to sit.
yeah, to sit, not worry about anything, just kind of be like,
Right. So then we decided we're gonna go to Washington D.C. because Washington D.C. is really close.
yeah.
And you were the driver on this trip.
Oh gosh, this place. DC,
You hated it.
Driving
You
in
hated
DC
it.
is a mess. A
John
horrible mess.
hated Washington D.C., so he was going nuts.
I just hated the traffic, the layout of the streets, the naming convention of the streets, the arbitrary. No, you can't turn left or right here unless you drive into this special spot. From there, you can't turn left anyway. Ha!
Right.
Like
So what we did is like I always wanted to go to the Lincoln Memorial. That was like always a thing I always wanted to go. I never had a chance to do it. I had actually been to DC like 15 years ago. We just drove through. I didn't get to actually go like get out of the car and go to any of the stuff. So we had the GPS bring us right to Lincoln Memorial. Got out. That was just tremendous, man.
oh yeah, it was an experience. I mean, we it's just a massively incredible sight.
Yeah, it really is. Really impressive. Like you get there, you start going up the stairs. Like, okay, where am I going here? Then you see like maybe like the hairline,
Yeah.
part in the hair. You start going up. Then you see a little bit of the beard, a little bit of the sideburn, maybe. Then you get up the stairs, and there he is, the man himself, sitting on the throne, basically,
Yeah.
a large rocking chair. I don't know what that is. And he's just hanging out. There he's Honest Abe in all his glory. It was awesome. We got our picture taken with him. It was hard to take pictures, like because of the lighting and stuff.
And also because he's huge.
It was always a place I wanted to go to, not only just because of Lincoln, because I think Lincoln's one of the greatest presidents ever, and a lot of history with him, but also that actual site has a lot of history with the civil rights movement and all the kinds of things that went on there. So it's a double whammy of great history, great American history there.
Oh yeah, they actually had photos from a lot of that stuff. If you went down
Right.
into the gallery section.
Yeah, it's as much of a memorial of Lincoln as it is, it's as much of a memorial for the civil rights movement as it is for Lincoln, I should say, right?
Yeah.
So then we're like, all right, we're gonna go to the World War II memorial. So we get back in the car, we start driving. We stop at what we think is the World War II memorial. Get out, get inside. It's actually the Martin Luther King memorial,
Yeah, which is fairly new actually.
which is awesome. And I'm a big Martin Luther King guy.
Yeah.
I've read a lot of his books, and I actually have his album. People don't know this yet. They actually came out with an album of speeches, and I actually have that. And I spent a lot of time reading Martin Luther King and Gandhi and things like that in my life, and it's all stuff that just really helped me. And that's like the closest I get to religion is reading that stuff. That's like religious to me. I don't know. Interpret that how you will, but
Well, the experience just being there was amazing for another reason too. That
yes.
you want me to talk about it, or you want to do it?
Go ahead.
So we get there, and the memorial has a few parts. There's a big wall with quotes from his life just going across. In the middle of the wall, there's a split. On the left side is like a waterfall, a small waterfall. On the right side, the small waterfall of the split. And then if you go directly behind it, there's a giant statue of him facing out from the wall. And that's got some quotes on it, and it's, a very impressive statue. But when you walk along the wall reading the quotes, you just start to get an idea of, the ideas and dreams and, thoughts of this man. And then we were going along, and there was a small child ahead of us, a little kid. I could swear he must have been probably 10 or younger.
It's probably like 8, 9, or 10 or something like that.
Really, a really young kid who couldn't, he's young, so, he hasn't spent that long trying to read. But he's going through and he's reading every quote. And you just hearing this great man's words from the mouth of a child, he's working at it, he's sounding the words out. He eventually got every single thing.
You read every one of them.
Yeah.
And just tried to sound out. It was awesome. It was really cool.
It just kind of brought everything together.
It was like perfect. It was like out of a movie or something. So what I want to do for this week's edition, a little different than usual, of reading Rambo. We need a reading Rambo song. How's the original song go? Do you know?
Yeah. Take a look. It's in a book. Reading Rainbow.
All right, so we'll just have to make the version, the Rambo version. What we're gonna do is actually read some Martin Luther King quotes. We'll do a couple. And this is actually gonna be the longest show we ever did, so we'll just do a few.
Yeah.
And that'll be this week's edition of Reading Rambo. So why don't you want to read a couple? That'd be
Sure.
awesome.
Just go down the list, or.
Yeah, read as many as you feel are necessary to read.
All right. Well, here's one. Here's a couple that I think are pretty cool, just from this short list here.
Okay.
A lie cannot live, which is, I think, pretty.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Strong.
That's short and sweet.
3 words. Boom.
4.
Okay.
Another good one. A man can't ride your back unless it's bent.
Oh yes.
And the next one
true.
is but the next, basically, no one can do that unless you let them.
Exactly.
And then here's another good one.
Bend over for them to get on.
Yeah. A man who won't die for something is not fit to live.
Oh. How could you, if you're not willing to die, how could you live? It's kind of like that idea.
Like, there's no point in living if there's not something worth dying for.
Yes. Right.
Like, if you're not someone who's willing to die for what you believe in, there's no point in you at all. Kind of. Okay. A nation that continues year after year to spend more money on military defense than on programs of social uplift is approaching spiritual doom.
Huh. Wonder if that's where we are now.
Could
Okay.
be. Almost always, the creative, dedicated minority has made the world better.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some. Oh, this is a very good
Just
one from the
give us
wall.
a few more. Okay.
Oh, all right, I'll read it. This one's from the wall itself. It's carved out there.
Yeah.
Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that.
Is that from Norway?
That might be the quote from Norway.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, give us one more.
One more?
Yes.
Faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase.
Say it again.
Faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase.
Oh, yes. One foot in front of the other.
Yeah, and that's not necessarily faith in a religious thing. It could be faith in yourself, faith
In anything.
Yeah, in anything.
And like the kid at the convention, at the panel.
Yeah.
Right? So that was this week's edition of Reading Rambo. Last week was the Book of Kong. This week was Martin Luther King. It's kind of different. But a great edition. One of the, certainly a great man, and
definitely a great man.
a lot of inspiration there, and positive things. So, my hat's off to Martin Luther King.
Yes.
So we saw that memorial, and then we walked to World War II Memorial.
Yeah. Which
is also pretty wow,
It's a giant, there's fountains in the center. It's this big, round area with a built-up wall, and then along these walls, which have breaks so you can step through, are the names of every state and some U.S. territories. The Philippines are listed there.
Virgin Islands. Oh yeah, it was just everyone that basically where troops came from. But that was another one. I was like, wow, this is interesting. And it's in between the Washington Monument and Lincoln, right in the middle, in between. So it was pretty wild. And
it's a very important area.
It's a very important area. So that was really cool stuff. We did some really amazing things on this trip, I would say.
I would agree with you.
And then we went into, we want to drive by the White House. So OJ, the crazy man's driving. We're trying to get as close as we possibly can. And it's difficult because the way the roads work, you can't turn here, you can't turn there. We got completely thrown. We went through a tunnel, and we're like 100 miles away, and we had to turn around.
Yeah, and the
Eventually
GPS
we got
you
close
go
enough. We didn't. Yeah, we saw it for like 2 minutes, I think.
Yeah, and the GPS won't let you go straight there. Like,
and I think
nope.
Yeah, it doesn't let you. But it's basically a White House. I mean, what do you.
It's big.
It's big. Yeah, it's a big White House.
It's near the Department of the Treasury too. So
right. That was cool.
Yeah, not to mention dinner.
So then we get out. We want to eat dinner now in DC. So we park the car, and Sunday night everything's closed. but we're about literally a block or two away from the White House. It was like as close as you can get.
Yeah, it's not even that late.
We were actually at the White House. We parked outside the White House gift shops. We were like right there. Get out. There's like one restaurant that's open. The dude comes running at us. I want to ask you guys a question. I'm not looking for money.
I don't want a dime from you.
I don't want a dime. I just want to ask you a question. Obviously, he was looking for money. It was a guy who was down on his luck, and that sucks. So we're like, all right, we're going to keep going. Walk a couple more blocks more.
We don't even leave that same block. We just walk.
Yeah, we went around the block. We went around the block. A dude getting arrested.
Like 4 police officers, a dude getting arrested, and a group of like rich people hanging out outside of a bar or club, dressed in their hoity-toity suits and whatnot, just standing outside having a good time. Yeah. Not 50 feet from the guy who's getting arrested.
Right, this is like across from the White House. So I think we did a video on Phil's channel where we talked about this. But it was kind of like all the problems in the country, like right outside the door of the White House. Kind of interesting and kind of poetic in a lot of ways.
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, what we ended up doing was we ended up walking around that block again. We ended up back where we started, but there was no one in front of the restaurant this time. So we went inside.
And actually, the place was actually really good.
Like one of the nicest restaurants. I think the nicest restaurant we were at the entire weekend.
Yeah, well, it was downtown near the White House.
Yeah.
With people getting arrested outside the door.
Yeah, near the Department of the
Treasury. Was still
too.
Pretty nice, and we had a nice Gouda, I think.
It was Gouda style, but it was goat, which is served to us with walnut bread.
A Gouda style cheese and some wings and stuff. We had wings like every meal, I think. I don't know what was up with that. 10% sales tax in DC.
Oh yeah, that was a smack in the face right there.
And I noticed a lot of people in the comments from that initial video that we just talked about, where we mentioned that it was 10% sales tax and that was high. People were like, in my country, it's 17%. Canada, it's 13%. What are you guys talking about? Here's the thing. We don't have free health care here.
Yeah. And we have to tip.
You pay extra sales tax because that pays for your health, basically. We don't have that here. So 10% is very high for the U.S. And they also hit us in other ways. You get taxed heavily in other areas, not just for your sales tax. So I think in a lot of countries, the majority of the tax actually comes from sales tax. So.
And and also, I mean, again, we have to tip. It's pretty much you have to tip at least 15%.
Right, there's tips
20,
here in
15
other
20, 15 25 sometimes.
Right, in other countries there's no tipping at all. So
yeah, or very little tipping.
That's pretty much what that's about. So.
Yeah.
Anything else on Sunday? We went back and passed out, I think. That was pretty much it, right?
Yeah, went back, passed out, made sure we could get up in time to pack everything up and get out of there.
All right, so Monday, pack everything up, call off the front desk. We need some sort of cart. Now we have extra stuff because Phil bought like paintings and things, and I think we had like extra bags for, I don't know what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
But, so we get a cart. This guy comes up, a very nice guy, comes up with a cart, helps us bring everything down. We load it, bring everything down to the car. Get all into the car. The trunk won't shut, though, because there's too much stuff in the trunk.
Yeah.
So the guy's, like, freaking out. He's like, we have to move this box. We have to move that box. So I'm like, no, we don't. All we have to do is this. I took the trunk and slammed it down and completely destroyed whatever was in there.
Box of shirts.
Yeah, it was like a box. It was like, broke the box, and the trunk was shut. And then we hit the road, and John, the madman, again, driving the whole time. OJ the Madman.
Yeah, I'll admit, I wasn't as good as I was on Thursday night. I was much more tired, but after we stopped and somebody gave me an energy drink, I had maybe 2 ounces of the giant 16 to 20 ounce can. I had
balls.
Yeah, I had like maybe a tenth of the can, and then I didn't need any more caffeine for the rest of the trip.
That's how like tiring a con is. So like on Thursday, you worked all day from 6 in the morning, and then was able to drive 6 hours that night with no problem.
Mm-hmm.
But on this day, after 4 days in the con, you woke up and then immediately started driving, but you were more tired because it just took its toll.
I was beaten, dude. I was beaten. Right.
It was a long weekend. So we're driving, and we tried to plan out a couple things we wanted to do. And we're driving, and we're like, well, we want to look up, you guys were like, look up a restaurant or a place that we could eat because we didn't have breakfast or anything. We're hungry now.
Oh, boy.
So I look at my phone, I go to Google, and the top-rated place is a place called Charcoal Style, which is pretty close, according to my phone. So I'm like, all right, I've GPSed it over there. And it's kind of like a broken down town, and then the place is like a side-of-the-road stop.
Yeah, there were no cars there. It was just kind of hanging out.
It was like a tent.
You'd eat underneath a tarp, basically.
Well, it actually was the highest rated thing in the area.
It was probably awesome, but
it was probably awesome.
Didn't look like something we wanted to go to.
And we couldn't really sit down and stuff like that and get out of the car. So
yeah, so we went.
We went to Friendly's, which was probably worse.
Yeah, but honestly, I realized I'd actually been to that Friendly's before.
Yeah.
And as far as Friendly's go, it's not bad. It's a lot better than ones near where we live.
So I had a $6 grilled cheese at Friendly's.
I had the chicken strips, and then I got thoroughly yelled at for buying an ice cream sundae.
Yeah, we got to give you a hard time. That's because we care, though.
Yeah, I know. But I'm on vacation. I didn't have too much dessert the entire rest of the time. I wanted a zicking sundae before I went home.
All right, it's fine. I didn't mean to be. I hope you didn't take it the wrong way.
It's okay. I did not take it the wrong way.
It's kind of funny because I think certain things probably shouldn't be on film. Like that conversation didn't need to be recorded. I kind of felt bad about that afterwards.
Yeah.
But I think the intentions were good. I don't think certain things need to be recorded. Sometimes.
No, I understand where you're going, man. It's all good.
I hope you don't take it the wrong way.
I didn't.
There's a lot of love here. Don't worry.
Don't worry. I know.
So one of the things that we planned out, since we're driving up the eastern seaboard, basically, right?
Yep.
You and I always were big fans of Kevin Smith.
Oh yeah.
Movies, especially like 10 years ago, we were like in high school and stuff like that. A little bit after high school, when we were actually clerks, working as clerks, that was like a big deal for us to watch those movies. And the places we always wanted to go to in New Jersey, Red Bank, New Jersey, the Secret Stash, Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash, which is Kevin Smith's comic store that he owns. And the other place we wanted to go was the actual Quick Stop, which is where Clerks was actually filmed. Yep. And we got to do that. Finally got to do this. Secret Stash was really cool. They were actually filming something in there, and they wouldn't. You actually asked them, and they wouldn't tell you what it was.
Yeah, well, I basically didn't want to be rude and be like, "Hey guys, what are you filming?" So instead, I asked, "Oh, I'm sorry. There seems to be a lot of activity here. What's going on?" And that would give them the chance to say what they're filming.
There was like 5 like really high-tech cameras, like big with like the boom attached.
Yeah, I almost stepped on one.
Oh yeah, I saw that. You
Yeah.
tripped over him. I was like, oh my god. Funny he broke Kevin Smith's cameras. Well, the store was great. I know we all picked some stuff up.
Yeah.
I think that was actually Walt, the fanboy that was working behind the counter.
Could have been.
I'm pretty sure. I didn't really want to like ask him. I didn't feel like being like that. But that was really cool. And then we went to the actual Quick Stop. And that kind of blew my head off. Because it's exactly the same as it was in the movie. Like you go in, everything's like the cooler's in the middle, there's the counter, there's the candy on the side where they threw at each other when they had their fight.
Yep.
Back room, here's the milk where the milkmaid got the milk out.
Yeah.
It was insane. It was like being in the movie. And like standing outside the building. It was really surreal.
Yeah, it was dark when we got there, but it was.
I think you tried to talk to me, and I was in there, and I was like, "Stop! Don't talk to me." I was like just freaking out. I was like, "Whoa!" It just felt so bizarre, man.
Yeah, well, also RST Video is next door. It's closed, but there's still shelves of videos up.
There's videos all over the place, but there's no RST Video sign anymore.
Yeah.
So what were your impression of being inside the Quick Stop? Was that weird to you?
Yeah, that was kind of like.
I'm a big fan of that movie. That's one of my favorite movies of all time.
For good reason.
And I've seen it like 100 times. I haven't watched it in a while, but especially like years ago, I used to watch it like all the time. I used to watch like every month. I would watch it, and then the special edition came out. I'd watch that. I was like, so I have a lot of like fond memories of it, not only from the '90s, but for like a decade straight. I watched a ton of that movie. And, like being in the place, it's an actual place.
Yeah,
it was insane.
It was just.
That was really incredible.
Yeah, I mean, heck, I bought a Charleston chew there. I'm not sure if I want to eat it or just save it.
I feel like I should have bought stuff. I didn't. I don't know what to do. I had to leave at one point, so I was just like, I can't. I don't know what I'm doing here.
I guess we'll just have to go back.
But, yeah, we should go back. And I went outside. I leaned up against the wall, kind of like a Jay and Silent Bob kind of deal. And
yeah, I walked around to try and see where they were singing Berserker.
That's why I was right in front.
Oh, okay. I thought it was on the side. Either way.
Yeah, I was right in front. I feel like watching the movie again because I think I don't think those posts like in front of the parking lot were there in the movie.
No, I don't remember them being there.
Yeah, I think they must have put that in.
Yeah, and I was surprised that we didn't instantly go black and white the second we entered the store.
It's such a unique looking building. I've never seen there's not really many buildings like that.
And it's in a weird spot. It's
in the middle
right
of like a neighborhood. There's
no
There's really no parking lot. You feel like there's a parking lot when you watch the movie. There's no parking lot.
You got to pull out into the street to go.
It's like right It's like right in the street, basically.
Yeah.
So that was wild, man. That was really fun. So then we made the drive back, and that was pretty much it. We drove to your house, and I drove to Phil home, and I drove back to my house, and then I basically started editing videos we don't even really remember doing. I got them out. I don't know how I did it. I don't really have a lot of recollection of doing it, but I did it. So that was Magfest.
Yeah,
I felt like great things. I really had an amazing time. Incredible, amazing time. Highlights for me were hanging out with basically hanging out with all my friends for several days. Got to see national monuments. Got to stand inside the place where one of my favorite movies of all time was filmed and created. And I think the best part is like meeting all you lovely people out there.
Yeah.
So nothing better than that in the world. It's the best thing in the world. And if you met me in person, I hope I entertained you a little bit. And for the rest of you guys, I hope that you laughed at my Magfest videos. And hope that we all meet soon.
Yes.
So I think we should let's do it again, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Any final words about Magfest?
It was a lot of fun. Meeting everybody was incredible. Everyone was so nice. People would just walk around having a good time the entire weekend. And there were, everyone who came by the table, thank you very much. People who took cards, people who bought stuff, people who didn't buy stuff. Anyone who, communicated with us in some way. Heck, even the guys we played against, at the arcade cabinets, thank you all.
Even the guys that ran away from my camera.
Oh, that guy was hilarious.
Thank you, everybody. Yeah, because without him, then, that dude made a lot of people laugh, and without him even knowing it, so that's a great thing,
All the better.
All the better. So this was definitely the longest show we ever did.
Oh, yeah, we're at about 2 hours.
No one else does this, okay? This is great work ethic that we put forth.
Yeah, this is good, man. I still have stuff to do for work tonight, but I am very much enjoying this.
So I know people are going to ask about the shirts. I'm trying to set something up so that we can sell the shirts online.
Yeah, that's on me.
It's on OJ a little bit. If you can't get it done, we'll probably look for another method. But
I should be able to do it this week. Like, I have Monday off, if nothing else.
Okay.
I can push other things off till Monday, and I can do it.
All right, so I would say look to a future announcement about that. I know a lot of people send me messages saying that they would like to get a shirt. That's really cool. That's really awesome. And we will have some information about that. I hope that you don't change your mind in the couple days that it's going to take for us to figure that out.
I'll probably work on getting the store set up before I finish my next video.
I don't want that shirt anymore. Screw that.
Oh.
And next week the show will return once again at its normal time slot, which is Friday mornings. That's when the show will usually be going up.
Mm-hmm.
Unless there's a strange situation like last week or something else. And right now I'm working right now. I'm lining up several guests for the next couple weeks. So that's the plan right now. Get some interesting people in there. Bring you some good stuff, and I hope everyone stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Okay, it's been a while. 2 hours straight. So, for OJ, for myself, are you done? You have anything else to say?
No, man. I think we pretty much went through the whole deal.
Went through the whole trip.
Yeah.
It's like you were right there.
This is good because now I can never forget it because we've got it right here.
Because you have video proof of it.
We've got video and we've got this lovely discussion we both have just had with you.
I hope people found it interesting. We could have made things up.
Nah,
well,
truth is stranger than fiction, man. We got this.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, my friends. Thank you for listening to John Rambo Presents the best in free and optional entertainment. Say the end, John.
The end.